Hello everyone and welcome back for VCS. We're in week 3, day 2. My name is Yulwei, I'm your color caster, and with me as always, everyday caster. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good as well. Hype for this match, that's for certain.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have DBL, the number 1 team, still at 4-0, coming back from Rift Worlds with a decent showing. Not great, but at least decent. Against GAM, the former frontrunner for VCS, coming back after disastrous game 1 with a very good, not game 1, week 1, with a much better week 2. And we'll have to see if they are able to challenge the number 1 team in the league.
Yeah, it'll certainly be interesting here. I think if any team can challenge TBL, it sounds crazy, but I think GAM's actually one of them.
Yeah, DBL has
They do
already beaten Loki and Flash, so who's left, right?
exactly, and I think while GAM's had a few missteps, obviously they're not at the top of the table. Um, but they do seem to have a very high ceiling when it comes to their skill, and if they can bring that today, they've absolutely got a chance.
Yeah, and they have shown some super good early games, absolutely stomping in a few games, and even in the first week where they lost, especially the series against QTV Gaming, they still won early game heavily and then lacked a little bit of coordination. They worked on their coordination. They had 2 more weeks to work together, to gel, to coalesce. So I'm really hopeful for them. I think they actually have a decent shot today to win against the DBL, especially with a little bit of a Rift Rivals hangover maybe kicking in as well. EVOS didn't look too great yesterday.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Gum has a real chance here to prove themselves. So hopefully they actually show up today. I'd like to see who's actually playing. I
Yeah,
didn't actually see in the
Hugh
preview,
is
unfortunately,
Hugh
but
is slotting in the bot lane
who
once
is
again,
in?
so we might see more nice mages coming out. Will we see another Heimerdinger ban? That's the big mysterium here, because he was banned almost all the game against Hugh. He got to play him once and they won, so he's still sitting on 100% win rate as an ADC as well. Slay and Hugh unbeaten as a bot lane duo.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I'm not surprised there to see that first ban from the Buffalo is Nico.
Yeah,
Take that away, such an easy bot lane mage to play. But the question is, do you invest more bans in it? There's a lot of OPs to take out on 913, and Gum's not helping you by banning out Akali and Zaya. All right, no one's banning the OPs. We're going to have a nutty draft.
oh yeah. Sedge, Silas, by the way, yesterday we talked a little bit about Mordekaiser, but no one seemed to even hover him,
I
so he
think it might
might be
actually. I
still
think it might
disabled
be
here.
defense.
Yeah. So for Mordekaiser, maybe tune in into LEC later today. I think he should be enabled there. He's not enabled in Asia at all. As far as I know, LCK and LPL still not playing with Mordekaiser either. So a little bit more time for the Asian teams to react to that newish champion. Yumi now banned.
And Lux taken out as well. So
Yeah,
that's
that was a
the
very
two
good ban.
premier and transport. But Karma open. First picking Jace with this draft.
I mean, Jace
Go.
is a very good pick for GAM, because Kiaya is a former top lane as well, so he wants to play the Jace in the mid lane. So this is a very flexible draft. They don't want to decide on a jungler yet, so they're still Sedge and Silas open, so you don't really have to pick an OP jungler, because 2 are still available. I would
Do
like
you
to
really
see
want to give
Levi on
Raizo
Silas.
Aatrox?
Yeah, that's scary. It's actually not his most played champion though. I checked again, and actually his Akali is his most played so far in VCS at 4 picks.
True. He can't play that this game though, so who knows? I mean, the Silas being picked up here by DBL, I think is pretty standard.
I really like
Arguably
this.
the best jungler in the game. Only Sejuani can really contest that. And I think Silas suits DBL as well, so good to see.
Karma, right? Where's Karma at?
Yeah, what's this? Where's the Karma priority? She's getting through. Kaiser picked up here for Big Coro. That is the VCS Kaiser priority, which we always love.
Yeah, I mean, kind of weird to not see Karma picked up here. A little bit of an opportunity to now go a Karma jungle for GAM. I would like to see them go a Karma either top even they have 4 positions to slot Karma in. We've seen Karma bot lane being played, so I think Hugh can absolutely play Karma on the bot lane. Pair her up with
Yeah.
something like maybe Pyke. Ooh, but
Oh,
it's even more hype.
Gragas Yasuo
Oh, what
picked
a
up.
banger! First game of the
Yeah.
day, and we instantly go to Gragas Yasuo. That's wow. We start off
Does
the.
DBL have an answer against this?
I mean, there's Silas jungle. Silas is a super strong skirmisher, so they need probably an aftershock mid laner. Oh, okay, this is another option. We talked about her a little bit into Yasuo. It's not great, but it can at least dodge a lot of skill shots. So. Yeah, I'm personally not the biggest fan of especially Null's LB. I think he's better on the controlling champions. He didn't really show up on LB in Rift Rivals either, so yeah, I'm a little bit skeptical. And now they run into the same problems we have talked about so much on this broadcast. Yeah, double AP topside. They really need a top laner with AD damage. Renekton is still available.
Yep, and Heimerdinger does get banned out. We won't be seeing that. Aatrox taken out as well. I think that's a smart ban from GAM. They obviously are aware that Dashing Buffalo will want an AD top laner. Raizo obviously so strong on Aatrox. Good idea just to take it out.
And by the way,
Also, just an edge thing to quickly point out. So far, really, ult's not looking great for Silas.
that's
Don't
true.
really want Jake or Yasuo.
I mean, Jace can be good. Jace can actually be quite a good steal for the Silas, because he gets the same poke power as Jace does. So sometimes I like the Jace, not so much in lane, but I think for later for grouping parts, I like the Jace steal. That being said, look at the Gragas Yasuo. It's you think about it mid and jungle, but it's actually still a possibility that it will go down bot. We have no idea about Hugh's Yasuo capability. He's a mid laner, so why would he not be able to play Yasuo? Might
That's true.
still get slotted into the bot lane actually for a lot of flexibility in the draft.
Absolutely. It's absolute. Oh,
Oh no. Man, VCS, why? Why are you doing this to me?
I'll
And
just let
all
you
the
talk
time
about this.
with Vladimir. Why? I have no idea who they are scrimming. It has to be some scrim culture thing. Because all the teams go triple AP topside with Vladimir. And why this is so bad is Vladimir needs a lot of time to scale. And with this setup, it's so easy to itemize MR against this team that Vladimir needs even more time to get online. So he's looking at 40 minutes in this game to do anything, which is not great. It's a comfort champ for Reizo, but don't pick it up in this draft. It's really not good.
Absolutely. And then we do see. Whoa,
What
hello.
the what? Okay.
Okay. Going to rise. That makes a lot more sense.
Wait, does
So I
it?
do think. Well, it makes more sense with Lulu.
I mean, maybe, but Rice does not make a lot of sense either. Where's Rice going?
I will.
This is a
I
bot lane Jace, no? I think it's bot lane Jace.
could be bot lane Yasuo.
Oh, look at that.
Galio Yasuo. Ooh, Kiana. Is she available?
Nah,
Surely not.
I guess not.
I think that's just a hover.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
just a
that must.
hover to tease the attendees here.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
If she's.
I'm so confused. what what has happened here?
I mean, let's wait for the
Wait,
swaps. I would have
wait.
thought it was
I
bot lane.
if this stays true,
Yeah.
I have so much to talk about because I played against Challenger Smurf playing Silas support, and he literally 1v2'd us on lane. It was
Whoa,
insane.
I did not notice the Lee Sin pick.
Yeah, that's why I'm
I
so
completely
confused.
missed that. Whoa, I completely missed
By the
that.
way,
This is
all
set
VCS
silent
fans
support.
absolutely hate Meliodas and Lee Sin. Every time he goes on Lee Sin, all the fans are immediately taken aback because his Lee Sin is not great. We'll have to see. Wow, this draft has been spicy.
This is not gone the way I think either of us expected.
I mean, I like it because now they have the damage profile problems. The damage profile problems are kind of resolved.
Yep. Maybe they heard you and just last minute switched.
Yeah, and it's Jace bot lane. So we get to see I think the first top lane Ryze with the new Ryze. I think we only saw him mid, especially picked up by Dia. He is a big proponent of the new Ryze. Other than that, I don't think we have actually seen a top lane Ryze so far. Should be fine
I think.
into Vladimir, so safe scaling matchup.
I mean, he was the traditional Vlad counter
Yeah,
back when Vlad was.
he's not a counter anymore, I'd say. He actually
Yeah,
is now prone to being poked out on lane because he doesn't have his shield anymore. He has to be a little bit careful, but it should still be a relatively easy farming lane for the Ryze.
yeah.
Man, what can we expect from these two drafts?
I mean, what
I mean,
are we
first
doing
of
with?
all, a pause. That's obvious.
Yep, gotta resolve the infernal tech issues that seem to haunt us every day. But looking at this draft, how does this bot lane go?
Okay, so I can only speak to my experience, which was horrible. We played MF Lux, so one of the strongest lane presence lanes into whatever the ADC was, and Silas. The ADC really didn't matter because he didn't do anything. And the Silas literally went all in level 2 with Aftershock and out-traded us 1v2. And then continued to go under our turret, trigger Aftershock, heal himself up with W. I'm not sure if he maxed W. It looked like he did. And it was insane. We could not do anything in lane. In the end, we won the game because all our other lanes carried us. But we went 0 and 5 or 0 and 6 in lane, and it was all Silas. Silas 1v2'd us. It was so ridiculous. The ADC stood behind him and just farmed.
That is a terrifying prospect
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
What
I
coming out today?
And by the way, today's the day of weird support picks. I caught a glimpse of Volibear support in the LCK being played. So we and they won the game.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, seems to be the day of weird support picks, but let's see if they can continue the win streak for weird support picks. Because this
I mean,
Silas is
even
legit. This is a
Galio,
legit support pick. This is scary.
even Galio being picked up on 913 isn't normal
No, it's
alongside a
not great.
Jace.
I'm a little bit confused what GAM has been doing with the last part of the draft. They have
I
set up
mean,
a super strong mid jungle 2v2, but everything
I think
else is kind of ugh.
isn't the Galio? Surely, I think this is just a pure team fight brawl comp.
I mean, yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
a 4. Because I think what the Galio is meant to do is just knock people up for Yasuo. He's just a backup.
But what's the Jace doing in the bot lane? Why wouldn't you go Jace top and a stronger bot laner? I don't really understand the bot lane. The bot lane doesn't really make sense to me.
I'm not sure that you can play ADCs.
But Hugh has played Kai'Sa before, and he looked okay.
Well, Kai'Sa was picked. So
Yeah, that's
maybe
true.
Only play Kai'Sa?
Yeah, okay, maybe you can only play
I
Kai'Sa.
don't know.
That's fair.
I don't think we will ever have the correct answer to what happened in this draft,
This draft.
but we can speculate.
I want to have a bot lane focused camera roll here. I don't care for mid lane. This is Yasuo against LeBlanc. We have seen this before. Show us Silas bot lane. Come on. Show us the
Against
traits.
Jay.
The traits are what's really scary here. Especially from level 2 and 3 onwards. Level 1, Silas doesn't really do a whole lot, as you can see.
I mean, if any support can stop him, it is like Galio's got a pretty good chance, just considering he does get that AP shield.
Yeah. Galio's actually a good pick into Silas, but I don't think they anticipated the Silas bot lane. That
if
can't,
they did,
no.
it's the reign of absolute god.
Yeah, that's next level scouting for Tinikan.
Oh, look at him go.
Yeah,
this is exactly what you described.
Excellent.
Just in their face, aftershock procced, Silas ruining their life.
I'm rooting for GAM so hard in this game, just because I had to experience this Silas bot lane mess, and it's not great. It doesn't really, you don't have fun in the game.
I mean, that looks very accurate here. Meliodas he knows exactly where Levi is, and the plant will make it so the information's even. Doesn't look like he's going to go for anything realizes that Raizo does not have
Yeah.
priority in the top lane, so it's just a bad
Very
idea.
unfortunate for them. And this has actually happened a little bit before with DBL as well. Early priority seems to be a little bit of a struggle for Reizo. Usually he wins this lane, especially in VCS, but the early levels he kind of loses lane priority and control. And this has thwarted a lot of Meliodas' early pathing. So we have seen this trend
Uh,
kind of emerge a few
I'm not
times.
sure how much. I'm not sure how much blame I want to put onto
No,
Raizo
no,
in
it's
this
not flame.
particular.
It's not flame. It's
Yeah,
just a little
I
bit of a
know.
trend, and I mean, it's Vladimir, right? Because Vladimir is
Yeah,
not
exactly.
great
And
early.
also, he's against a Rise that has spent most of his mana bar, so it is pretty hard. Look
Oh,
at
this is
that! Slay
fun.
can barely stop him. But
Oh, they
oh,
actually
this could
trade
be the
back.
better outing. 90 out, Palad's dead. Slay taking a lot of damage, has to flash.
Yeah, nicely
But
done.
Big
Good
Koro,
capitalization.
ooh, hello. He looks like he wants to go for something. With his cooldowns up, he would actually be a threat. But Big Koro backs right off.
Yeah, this
Now
was
we do see the
very well played.
downside of that relentless aggression.
Yeah, and I think they've probably played only against normal bot lanes, and the big advantage that Jace holds in the early game is his better resistances if he goes to hammer form, which we saw come to fruition there, because he probably hits 7, 8 MR more if he goes to the melee form, and that helps a lot in the early trades. So nice awareness from Hugh to go to the more tanky form and trade back into Palette.
Yeah, but
Oh, this is
Palette's
risky.
back, and they're actually pushed quite far up. He came through the jungle, which was a very smart decision. It would seem.
Oh,
Oh, and
this was so
Meliodas
well
here
played.
too. Well played, taught there by Slay. Make sure the Hugh at least was very safe. Slay will go down. Big Koro answers back. Both ADCs with a kill now.
Well, Palette knows how to play Silas. You can
Yep.
clearly see Palette has played a few games of Silas here, because this was
Confirmed.
perfectly he was perfectly dancing around the taunt there to prolong the self slow, so to say, on Slay, and then landed his E anyway. So nicely done. I like Palette's play already, even though he has fed a little bit.
Yeah, I mean he died once, but that was just that was a good play out of Gum. But so far, still looking good. ADC even in farm has the kill. Serrated Dirk picked up for Hugh.
Oh,
Answered by
oh!
whoa.
Big Coro, you have learned. I'm so
It's
happy.
the Muramana!
It's the Muramana.
Found the hole!
Oh man, we
I
have
think
done
that's
something
such
right. I think in the last night or something, we get so many nice drafts, and now we get Muramana Kaiser. So this is the best day of VCS ever.
and you could see that he picked up a BF sword, and I thought
Yeah.
we're about to have to talk about Stormrazor again. But then he changed, and I couldn't be happy. Well, here's a possible gank setup here. Galio in the wings, obviously has the ult. But Meliodas is here just to counter if anything happens. Null ends up just getting poked, walks away.
That Jace roam was so useless. He did absolutely nothing there.
I mean, to be fair, he can't do anything in bot lane at the moment
Yeah,
because
that's
it's
true.
shoved all.
That's true. And no
I mean,
real
he
good
does.
reset timings in terms of items either. So not a whole lot to do for them. Sadly, the crab was also not up. So crab priority now goes over to DBL a little bit. That being said, mid prio sits with GAM, so they could still extend that and look for the first dragon of the game. It's
Yep,
not.
especially with how far away Yasuo can join fights from the mid lane if there's a knockup. It's super dangerous to go for crab.
Yeah, and this
When
dragon is very dangerous as well for DBL. DBL should be super careful around this dragon. It's not that great in the early game anyway. It's Mountain Drake, so he will not get the immediate profit. So it's not worth losing 1 or 2 kills over the Mountain Drake here. Yasuo is 6, so yeah, Gragas just has to stand there and throw his ult over the wall. He has hit 6 as well. Levi once again with super good pathing.
Absolutely. I'm just still trying to get my head around how this bot lane actually plays out. It does look like Palette has slowed down his trading, but he is a level down, so that makes sense. Have to see if he gets back into the aggression or if it is just a bit more of an early game thing.
I think once he's 6, yeah, he wants to look for different ults. Probably wants to catch up the
Going in.
Levi ult. Oh wow, Palette will just go down and
Yeah,
win.
see, this
Yeah.
Galio does so well into this, but Meliodas just in the right place, came in, Pallet ends up getting the kill, Not exactly what you
His
want, but
bot
I
lane
mean,
is Hive.
this is crazy. But if you're gonna have a support get kills, I mean, Silas scales great with gold.
Oh yeah. And levels as well. He gets more experience with the kill. He has not hit 6 yet, and if you look at the ults in the enemy team, the best ult he can ever hope to get is definitely is Levi's. So he wants to
Absolutely.
kind of catch Levi somewhere and steal his ult to go look for another all-in. Yes, Lei is a
Yep.
really big problem. Your analysis was absolutely correct there. I did not anticipate the Gallia to be this effective into the Silas, but he's denying all the good trade opportunities.
Yep. And again, I don't think Gum picked Galio for that reason. Because if they made the read that this was a Silas support, they are truly the
Yeah,
gods of the VCS.
definitely.
But
I'm not sure. Maybe
but
they
it
actually
worked
knew
out.
something here.
Maybe. I mean, if they, for all we know, maybe they're scrim partners.
Yeah,
Do they know? I don't know.
would be a
Uh,
little bit weird after all this Zeros drama. But yeah, who
True.
knows? Look at the top lane matchup actually. Reizo known as the best laning top laner for sure this split, but Yoshino has been super great as well for GAM, and he's keeping track with Vladimir. To be fair, Vladimir not the most threatening champion in the early game, but still Yoshino into Reizo, and he's doing quite well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Yoshino, I think he's had a bit of a turbulent split, not always being played in that, but I think when he's been on stage, he's actually looked really good.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he's a super good player. So hopefully he gets to prove that a bit more to us today on that rise. I mean, him coming out with a minuscule CS difference is fine. Like it's rise
Absolutely, yeah.
versus fly. So who cares? That lane will sit there for a while. Actually, do have a plating taken in the top lane. I assume that was a decent reset or something.
Yep.
Um, so it's pretty even in gold, I think.
And
Bit of a
we have
lead
to think a
for
little bit about Gragas Yasuo in this game, because usually you pick them to early skirmish around mid lane, and that has not been the plan for GAM, or at least they have not really played around that game plan. So now this pick actually gets super risky, because Yasuo, if he's not ahead, usually just dies in team fights. And this Yasuo has not really gotten ahead, but look at the
no.
damage from Hugh.
Oh, Yasuo not there to seize on that. Oh, the kick! That was beautiful out of Meliodas. Slay is going to go down here. Burns the stopwatch to buy time. I don't actually agree with that at all.
Nope.
Didn't really say.
Once
But
again, wasted
I really
stopwatches.
hope. I really hope we get a replay there because that kick from Meliodas was sick.
Wow, I didn't actually catch the kick at all. Redeeming
Yeah,
himself on the Lee Sin there. Nice to see for
yeah.
Meliodas.
I very much hope we get a replay so you can see. There was a lot going on in that fight, but I had my eyes glued on the junglers, so I managed to catch it.
Yeah, the contest overall was not a good play from GAM. They didn't have the second part, the more important part of the combo there. No Yasuo to capitalize on the early team fight. So if your Yasuo is not there, just don't go for the fight. It's
Yeah,
what is there
absolutely.
ever gonna come from if you go for the fight there? So yeah, big mistake, big blunder in judgment for GAM. So you don't get the replay sadly, because Meliodas is too active on the map.
Yep, Yoshino should get away though. Meliodas guessed he went the wrong way. He zigged. Meliodas thought he zagged. So nothing
Oh
comes.
yeah,
Here,
there
this
we
should
go,
be the
there we go.
replay. Watch Meliodas here. This is really good. See ya.
That was
Got him mid
super sick.
dash. Yeah.
That was
I love
a still rolling pass, and he continued. He shoot it with the ball not stopping, kind of. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
sure on
exactly.
my football
He balled
terminology
him.
there, but
He balled him. I mean, you're asking the wrong guy for sports terminology. But yeah, it was very well played there. I agree. In the end, just not a good idea to contest at all by Gum, because ignoring the fact that it's Gragas Yasuo, as Kiaya
oh,
goes for the trade. That whirlwind can be pretty tricky to hit. To be fair,
I mean, yeah, if you aim at the completely wrong direction, you'll never hit. So
yeah,
that's a good lesson
exactly.
learned for Kiaya there.
Yep, and then we do have the lane swaps coming in after the first dragon. Not surprising at all. People want to pivot their attention up towards the objective that's actually on the map, being the Rift Herald. Though that's very quickly losing its value. It's already 13 minutes.
Yep.
No one's really looked towards the Herald.
But at least
Uh,
both teams have swapped up top. We see many VCS teams actually overcommit to the Rift Herald and then lose many plates in the bot lane. This swap has been initiated by DBL, and I was kind of curious why they did this. I think they mostly wanted to dodge the bot lane matchup that has gone in favor of GAM more and more, with two platings going their way as well. But hold that thought.
Ooh, Kiaya in so much trouble here. Galio comes in to try and save him. Is he going to survive the ignite? He's not. Null getting a nice kill. Oh, Big Koro as well. Hit the Q from long range. Can he hunt down Hugh? You're taking a lot of tower shots here, Big Koro. Be very careful. We could see a
Sue
James
back to
turn. He's got
150.
actually, yeah,
He
he's
needs
got
one more
quite a lot
Q.
of health here. I think he's
Oh,
going for the execute. I think he had to try and turn.
yeah, I
He was
think so
never
too.
run.
I guess he saw that his range Q was not coming off cooldown fast enough, so he didn't really see the opportunity there. I think he needed ranged Q into melee Q to turn that fight around again. Kind of sad that he was not able to make the attempt.
It was a very good W there from Big Koro. Hit him while he was
Absolutely.
flying from the blast cone that allowed him to ult on. But that was a good passage of play there for DBL. They've taken a pretty firm lead here now, nearly 2k gold. Gonna have to see if GAM can fight back.
And by the way, I can confirm that Big Koro is probably not too practiced on the Muramana build, because he just built a longsword and then sold it again.
We've seen him
Okay.
do that twice. I feel like someone's telling him, "Hey, no,
Yeah, I
you
think
have
so
to go.
too.
You have to go the scaling Kaiser build
Yeah, it's nice
because
to
we
see.
need."
We finally get to see the very strong 3 item powers by Kaiser here. And she has gotten ahead, so she's even strong now, where the usual Kaiser build strikes. I think this now gives DBL a really big scaling advantage, especially looking at free farming Reizo as well.
Yep. Also, we didn't comment on it, but Meliodas did pick up that Rift Herald. It's 15 minutes, so it's not super impactful. No plates to get. But it will be nice for DBL to be able to have a stronger push in whichever lane they choose.
Yeah, look for probably utilize the mid lane, I would anticipate, because mid lane is the hardest to break. And there's not the best defensive option for GAM available in mid lane. They don't have the best wave clear ever.
No, they really don't. Yasuo can clear waves, but he sort of needs to
Yeah, he's
get amongst it, which is super dangerous if it's contested.
yeah, it's not silver wave clear. It's Yasuo wave clear, which is so much more dangerous.
Yeah. Say that again.
Yeah, and
Pressure top lane here for Gum, but it's not going to
overall,
matter, I think.
I'm not too happy with the way GAM played out their mid lane 2v2, because yeah, I think if you go for Gragas Yasuo, you have to
Oh,
look for early skirmishes.
Yoshino. Oh, no.
Eh,
Big Koro having a big game.
yeah, 4th kill of the game to Big Koro, and he looks super strong.
Yep. This way the bot
Meliodas
lane
also
tower as
has
well.
been absolutely great.
Oh, there's the Gragas Yasuo being used. Null gets absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, we finally get to see a little bit of what GAM was actually playing for in the game. It might just be a little bit too late.
Yeah, they've
But if
lost
they
two
can repeat
towers in the bot
this,
lane.
oh wow. And another
That was
charge on the inhib turret. That's not great either. This is bot lane inhib turret, so whenever the Razor can get a little bit of alone time in the bot lane, they can actually open up the most important lane when it comes to Baron play.
absolutely. This is not a good trade here at all for Gum. Glad to see like playing around the Gragas Yasuo. You pick those two champions for that exact combo, but they're just doing it a bit too late, which I think you were alluding to.
Yeah.
You picked that to do it earlier,
I
not
think
at level
the
12.
key moment in the game so far was the very nice dragon fight. Because imagine Yasuo was able to get there. That would have been such a great fight for GAM, and possibly 2 or 3 kills going over to the Yasuo, accelerating the pick. But
Yep.
he was not there. He had a very bad reset timing. Maybe the timing was okay, and Gum was just not reacting to the reset timing of the mid laner. So yeah, that was a big problem. And since then, the advantage has been in DBL's on DBL's way, has gotten DBL's.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the sort of the on the scoreboard, obviously, Big Coro. I don't think Big Coro's had too many really big players. He had that one up onto Hugh in the top lane. Has had a good game overall, but he's certainly been a little bit enabled by his team, which is good to see. Don't get me wrong. That's what you want to be doing. Enable your carries. But yeah, that's a really fed Kaiser, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, it feels like the game has been going for longer than it actually has. We are only at 19 minutes, and the Kaiser is already working on her third item now, which means she will be super strong. Good Baron taker as well. They have secured another Mountain Drake. There's not another Mountain Drake coming up, sadly for them, but one Mountain Drake is already with a Kaiser, and yeah, Vladimir's okay at Baron. Lee Sin is actually quite decent for a jungler, so their Baron is
Yeah,
okay.
they tried securing it as you excuse. But
Yeah, he does a little bit of damage to the Baron as well. So I think they have the opportunity to play around the Baron later on. It's not the greatest Baron team ever, but definitely a possibility.
yeah, I definitely think that's Baron in the current meta is just so important in general. Very rare to see games not have a bit of a Baron focus. We just have to see how DBL gets there, because at the moment, one thing that Gum is doing well is not giving up anymore. It was a 2k gold lead a few minutes ago. It has extended out to about 3, but that we have that stat from G2 where they typically, what was it? They times their gold lead by 5.
Triple. They
Yeah, they
triple their
triple
gold
it.
lead.
Sorry, they triple their gold lead from 15 to 20. That certainly hasn't happened this game.
No, that being said, DBL didn't have the honesty to do that. You would
Yeah,
like to see them go triple their gold lead, but they don't really have to. They outscale heavily in this game, so they can just wait for their Muramana transform, maybe for the third item on Biko, and just let him carry the game.
very true.
Yeah, we have hit a little bit of a lull state here. Oh no, you hate to see that. It's a little bit slower, which just can be good for GAM as well. They now put all their eggs in the Yoshino basket. Because, yeah, that's still a... Wait, what did I just see?
Levi fished for an ult, but missed by an absolute mile.
Yeah.
They're going to go for the fight anyway, though. Kaya, Palette, very clever there. Stole the barrel, used it to disengage. We have 8 players up around this top lane. Are we going to get any scrap? I don't think so. I think
No.
people are just a little bit too spread out, too backed off. But that will be a tower picked up here for Gum. They're first, making it 3-1 on the tower score.
Their first real objective going their way. Nice to see. There's still a little bit of life in them in this game. Muramana transformers coming, and Levi's caught out. Oh, nice.
Very nice realm warp there by Yoshino, saving his jungler. Yoshino overall has played a pretty good game so far.
Yep.
It's been quiet, but I mean that's Rise pre 20 minutes, but overall it's pretty good.
Oh.
Ooh, Baron started
Look
actually
at the
down
speed.
to half health.
Look
Here.
at
This
the
is huge.
speed.
Yep, this is going to be a free Baron. Levi is in a stopwatch getting dove by Rizo.
And Razor, why are you doing
almost
this?
certainly die.
Oh, this is so unnecessary.
Buying time, I suppose. I don't think that was necessary at all. That was a big shutdown from Farm Bounty. And they have to get out of here, though. Slay, oh no, he altered to try and save his team, but he might be in some trouble because of it. Never mind. Gets away under the tower. Galio, bit of a tanky boy. And this is Baron picked up for DBL. Oh dear, Gum. Oh dear. Didn't have vision around the objective.
Yeah, this looks like an easy game to win now for DBL, but I still want to criticize them for one thing. I think they still need to work on their coordination when it comes to what is actually important in the game. Razor saw the opportunity. Nice 1v1 outplay, you would think in other games. Nice to see him go for aggressive plays. But please think about the purpose of your plays. This was just, you now have one Baron buff less on your split pusher, which hurts you way more than Gum. Gum didn't need Levi there. Razor, just back off. You get the Baron here. This is... Wow, he even invests his flash to go for the play. Yeah, I'm very unhappy with that.
It was also a 500 god shutdown onto Rise.
Yeah. the worst thing that can happen actually for them. So
Because I think the only way GAM really wins this game is through Yoshino.
absolutely, yeah.
They have to fully ride the Yoshino train in here. And we just have to see how they do that. If they can. It's not easy.
No. But yeah, to come back to DBL, because yeah, they came back from Rift Rivals a little bit disappointed after going 0-3, but they showed some good things there. Oh, Kiaya is
Gets
getting
kicked
out of
away.
there.
Meliodas in a fair bit of trouble, but Nor will clean up Kiaya. The Yasuo's out. Levi goes into the stopwatch. I don't think it's going to save him for very long, and that is another 2 kills picked up for DBL. Looks like GAM is falling apart.
Yeah, this game will not go on for much longer. A maximum of 6 minutes left, I think, in the game. We'll probably see a sub 30 minute victory here. There's not a whole lot GAM can do anymore.
It's actually a pretty sick 1v1 down here.
Yeah.
We weren't commenting because it doesn't mean anything, but
Yeah, it's Morelos Rise, because Morelos Rise can actually kill the Vladimir quite easily.
absolutely. But this is actually the mid lane inhibitor being cracked. I assume we'll get one more reset from DBL. They'll be happy with that inhib. They'll probably back off, get a few items, and we should see the death push here for game 1. That said, despite what the scoreboard may look like, I actually think GAM has shown signs of life. I just don't think they played around their Gragas Yasuo well enough.
Yeah, once again.
So I think they've got a pretty good shot into game 2.
Yeah, good performances out of single players from GAM once again, but their game plan was not great. Or it was okay, but they didn't execute on the game plan. They need to identify where they are strong, what they need to accomplish in the game. And if you pick Gragas Yasuo, you have to fight the first dragon. This is one of the strongest early game skirmishing compositions possible, especially backed up by something like Jades on the first item or a half an item, and the good ult from Galio. So that was their opportunity to win the game, and they just threw it away with bad back timing, with bad communication, not even bad play, not even bad individual play. Like, it was still bad play, but not like mechanical blunders happened in the fight. Just very bad communication and bad coordination cost them the first game.
Yep, absolutely. So far, assuming no miracles happen, and it's very unlikely, we do see Pallet going into that Jace form. With the stolen ult. Oh, could be caught out here quite badly, though. Levi knocks him back. There's the Yasuo being used.
Oh, wow, this CP is risky.
Oh, Rizo, that is super risky. In fact, I think he's just going to die. Oh, he can buy so much time. He is Vlad. The answering kill onto Big Koro comes back. Levi goes for the knockup, doesn't really do anything. Oh, no, it's all gone wrong. DBL will be winning the team fight and will be winning the game.
Yeah, slapping them with their wallets. This was not a fight they were supposed to win on an even footing, but it's not an even footing, and they will win just off gold difference in this, and XP difference as well. Razor hitting level 16 in this fight, so he was able to prolong the fight so much with his pool. And the game will end at 26 minutes, so my prediction of a sub 30-minute victory was very correct. Little bit disappointing from GAM, because, yeah, we alluded to it before. They had a clear game plan. They were not able to really do anything with their strong 2v2. Focused a little bit too much on bot lane. I think the Silas pick actually did wonders for DBL, because it brought attention to the bot lane. Maybe he hinted a little bit in the early game, but he still brought all the attention of the whole map, of all the viewers, of all the players to the bottom lane. No one knew what to expect. And the mid lane was quietly able to go to the mid game, and Gragas Yasuo was doing nothing. So I guess if that was the purpose of the support, the very strange support pick, then they accomplished what they wanted.
Yep, absolutely. We really need to see GAM come out with a much better game plan in game 2. Hopefully they play around what they pick a lot better. And I wonder if we're going to get a draft nearly as interesting.
Yeah. I think all the individual players still look good, especially Yoshino impressed me in this game. Razor has so far teared apart all the other top laners in the VCS, and Yoshino was absolutely able to handle him in the laning phase. So Yoshino, the bright spot. Kiaya, not too impressive on his Yasuo, but it was more of a team fail than him messing up Yasuo combos or anything like that. So I'd like to see a
Yep,
run back of the comms with better execution and better coordination. The comms, yeah, I think we're absolutely fine.
I agree.
And
So,
yeah,
MVP?
oh, that's so hard for this game. I think it's between Meliodas and Bikoro.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards Big Koro.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, Meliodas' late game impact was not too great. He had some very good plays, but overall, it's still quite hard to be the main focus and go out of game. I think did Bikoro die a single time? I don't think so, right? Because yeah, he had a super good game. It's
Yep.
a little bit of a MVP for his item build as well, which is, I mean, he's the first one to pull through with the better item build.
Yep, I think that makes sense to me.
Yeah, let's give it to him. His first MVP on
All
our
right.
broadcast. Now tying up the MVP for his support player, Palette on 1, Bikoro on 1. Meliodas already sitting on 3, so he can give 1 over to Bikoro, and we'll have to see who will step up in game 2.
Okay, everybody, welcome back to Game 2 between the Dashing Buffalo and Gum. Game 1, interesting for sure. What do you think about going into Game 2 here, Yulwei?
Yeah, let's just see another intriguing draft. I'm impressed with both teams. I think they showed some improvements. GAM still needs to work on their coordination a lot, but their individual play looks better and better. I think if they can get their coordination and team play on a good level when playoffs comes around, they can be a title contender because their individual players are super good. Meliodas gets
Yep.
the MVP there, so the other candidate we had chosen. Interesting that they
Yep.
give the MVP to the ADC as they usually do.
Interesting. That's us with a bit of egg on our face. We got baited by the KDA,
Yeah,
not the official broadcast for once.
I mean,
Meliodas
1-0-10
did
is
it.
still a super great KDA, right?
It's true. It's true. But normally they look at the first column, a bit more than the third.
Yeah.
But you are right. Overall, I think both players, Big Caro and Meliodas, both had a massive performance. So I think both MVP awards were quite fair. Going into Game 2, do you think we see a drastic change to bans and the like?
Bans might be quite similar. I think the picking phase will be a little bit different. Now that DBL has shown the possibility to even flex the Silas, and Silas is the super strong champ, even if you know that he goes jungle. Now they can flex him. So I kind of expect more Silas priority. We have Gum on blue side now, if I'm correct. No, actually not. They have Gum on red side. So do they
Yep.
bait out the Silas first pick, or do they go for first rotation Silas on red side? Is my question here. I think Silas is one of the key picks now in this series.
I agree. I wouldn't be super surprised to see Silas banned out, just because it's just been shown that it's so flex.
Yeah, and especially if you want to go Gragas Yasuo again, I think Silas ban might be a very good option, just to not give Gragas ult away once again, because the Silas actually utilized the Gragas ult better than the Gragas in the last game, which is not what you want to see.
Yep, it's very true. If the Gragas Yasuo is picked again, we need to see it being played better.
Yeah, more. Just try to skirmish more. Go for the dragon fights. If the enemy doesn't come to you, you get free objective. If they come to you, you get exactly what you want, which is early skirmishing. So just try to be a little bit more assertive. Look for more control over the map. I really didn't like how they played out the Gragas Yasuo. So I'm not sure if I want to see another Gragas Yasuo game. I thought Levi has looked best on pathing junglers, actually. His Karthus was insane, with the best Karthus
Yep.
performance by far in the VCS. So maybe go with the
Yeah,
Karthus again.
maybe. I think it's difficult overall. I don't think Levi looked good in Game 1, honestly.
No.
I think he looked a bit lost. Not just not playing around the Yasuo. I think overall he just didn't look very good. So maybe he just needs to go back to a comfort pick that doesn't have to take as much early game priority like that Karthus.
Yeah, or go for full ganking jungle. Levi is still a super good Lee Sin, for example, so that's another option. Sejuani on Levi, I'm not too keen on Sejuani on Levi, I have to say. I mean, he's probably okay on it. He has played it already, but his team needs a little bit more action from him, in my opinion. A little bit more, yeah,
Yep.
power from his
So
position.
agreed. Lux being taken out first again. That enchanted support going away, just as in Game 1. So far, looking similar. Xayah taken out by Gum. Don't want to play against that super strong ADC, especially since we don't think that Hugh can really play very many ADCs.
Yeah,
Not an ADC player by trade. So Camille taken out again. Interesting. I'm not sure the logic behind this Camille ban,
yeah,
but
they're scared of the flex between Kiaya and Yoshino, I think. And especially Camille opens up the Levi Sejuani even more, because Camille Sejuani is a super good 2v2 as well in the mid lane. So I think the Camille ban is understandable, especially if they want to force more OP bans to pick up the last standing OP. By the way, We did not see Karma in the last game.
Yep, that's something we didn't comment on because we had so much going on in that draft. But Karma got all the way through and wasn't played, which is crazy. But yep, bans are actually exactly the same, I think, as game one.
Yeah,
So
just as I thought, I think bans are not really changeable for these two teams now. I really like Dashing Buffalo's approach to ban out Aurelia and Camille, because Kiaya so far has only played top lane champs.
no, that is actually a change. Nico opened.
Yeah,
She was banned last
Gam wanted to
instead
let
of
her
Aurelia.
open and try to go for first rotation red side Nico, but Dashing Buffalo sniffs that out. And now with Aurelia banned, Nico is in a very good spot.
Absolutely, and it's still denied from Hugh. They go for this Jace lock in. I don't think. I mean, where's that going? Is that going to be another bot lane Jace?
I guess. Kiaya also
They
can
pick up
play the
Andrew
Jace.
as well.
I really would like to see Yoshino or Kiaya Jace and Aatrox on the other, and then an AP jungler on Levi, maybe Elise, maybe Karthus, as we alluded to earlier, maybe Silas. Silas is still open.
Yeah, I mean, Silas can absolutely still be picked up here. You've got to hope that Levi's put the practice in on it, considering how strong it is.
Yeah, and
Big
it's actually
Current
not
looks like he'll get
that
excited
hard to
again.
play. It's actually, you don't need 100 games on Silas to be able to play him on stage. He's
I
not that
agree.
hard to play, especially in the jungle where you don't have to lane on him, which was a little bit challenging in a few matchups early on.
Yep, playing melee in some lanes is always difficult, but doesn't matter when you're fighting jungle creeps. So there's that Nautilus pickup as well. It makes a bit more sense considering the Lux and Yumi bans, not just the typical VCS priority. Uh,
Silas,
is
please.
being picked up here. So, I mean, we're not going to see Silas support again,
Oh,
presumably.
that's good as well.
Ooh, yep, this
Es-
is a thing.
Especially into
Is it going to be
Nautilus.
locked?
It's super good into Nautilus.
Yep, and it's locked in. Hugh will be getting the donger out,
Second
raising your donger.
Heimerdinger game. Yay. And this now opens
Can't
up
wait.
many picks for Slay, actually, because you don't have to play a traditional support with Heimerdinger. You can go more of the untraditional, more unconventional route. Not too sure what Slay wants to play here. They could just go for another strong laning support to get priority, or they can go with a little bit of a tank scaling into later stages of the game.
Yep, and they're banning out the Noel LeBlanc from last game. They don't want to play against that again. And the Galio being banned out as well. I mean, Slay didn't play badly, but I don't think his Galio is that scary. I'm also
Yeah.
not sure if there's a comp that really wants a Galio.
And Galio into Nautilus Kaiser doesn't sound as strong as into Silas support, so Silas is still open. I'm so confused that Silas is still not prioritized here. Sejuani is not prioritized either. They instead ban out Rek'Sai, which is a super curious choice. I think this is setting up a last pick Karthus for GAM here. They want to bait the Sejuani on Dashing Buffalo's side, and then pick up the Karthus as the last pick to get free jungle priority and free jungle farm on the Karthus. They could
Yeah, I
just go
mean, that's very
Silas here as
possible.
well. Yeah, that's just the best champion available. So just go Silas here. That's the right call, but they could also set up Karthus.
Yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense. Put that into Levi's hands. Hopefully, he can show us a little bit of a better performance from than game one. He maybe drew a Gragas ban, which is interesting. Not sure about that ban, honestly, from DBL over the Silas. But, oh well. Now we have to see what they answer back with. What jungler is Meliodas going to play? He's going to go onto the Lee Sin again. He had a pretty good game.
Yeah,
He had a very good
surprisingly good
game.
game. Considering what all the VCS fans think about Meliodas Lee Sin, but his first game was super good. Picking up the official MVP as well, one of our frontrunners for MVP in that game. And Razor really seems to be super keen on Vladimir, has picked him up many, many times. Now, if you consider Rift Rivals as well, this is his fifth Vladimir pick, overtaking Akali. So most play champ in
Well,
summer, but
he
it's
picked
not
Cannon
Vladimir.
there.
Yeah, I'm
Yep,
sorry. Checked my
Cannon.
notes and didn't look at the game.
I mean, I thought I would have thought that Vlad got locked in before Cannon did. Honestly, looks like it could be a Morgana support here for Slay. I kind of like that. I think it's a good. I think Morgana's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's not for lane. It's really not for lane.
No,
This
it's not.
this Morgana
I
pick
mean, we
is
don't need.
no,
We've
no.
got a Heimerdinger.
Yeah, as I said before, you can pretty much pick whatever you want in the support position in this game because you have Heimerdinger getting lane control on his own. So this Morgana actually enables the carry Silas, I think, is probably the most obvious choice, especially if Levi is able to get ahead. Morgana's shield on Silas can do a lot, and this Silas can be might be going straight to the backline on Bikkur or Null, especially on Null, in my opinion.
Yep. And it looks like it will be the Aatrox mid as well on Kiaya. We don't see that as often as we used to. Aatrox pretty firmly a top laner, but never mind this time. He will be going to the mid lane against that Nico. I mean, that's basically a top lane matchup anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
We might see a lot of swapping around, actually, because both of these players are traditionally top laners. And Yoshino runs the TP, so we expect him to be top lane first, but I think we can see many lane swaps here. There's not a great matchup for Aatrox in either lane, so Aatrox has to be very careful, and Kiaya has a very hard job in this game. Jace is fine into either enemy champion, so Jace can do whatever he wants, and Kiaya a little bit of a bad time in the early game probably.
Yeah, exactly. It will be interesting. I'm not. It's difficult to look at the win conditions here for GAM because I just don't feel like they have particularly fantastic team fighting. Um, but at the same time, this is the VCS. I don't know how much you can lean on split pushes.
No, I think they play around Baron. This is a Baron team. Heimerdinger probably the best Baron champ in the whole game. Especially if you get one or two Mountain Drakes, you can actually solo or duo Barons so easily with the Heimerdinger. The later the game goes, the easier it gets, because your turrets will just murder the Baron in a matter of seconds. First Drake, we have to see what the first Drake is. If this is a Mountain Drake game, I think GAM has very good chances of winning the game if they get ahead. Because as you rightfully alluded to, their team fighting doesn't look too great as in the traditional front-to-back team fighting. But their Baron turn is insane, their Baron damage is insane, and they can control spaces super well with Heimerdinger as well. So I think they just want to lure the enemy team into a specific area of the map and then fight around their fighting conditions. They can't really engage too well. They need the enemy team to go to them.
Very true. They do have a pretty decent opportunity for picks as well whenever you have a Morgana.
And a Silas. Look at the
And
old
Silas.
Silas has and the enemy team.
Oh yeah,
It's
he's
devastating.
Yeah, he has so many good ults to potentially steal. A little bit of an invade here onto the blue by the DBL's bot lane, but I don't think they'll commit to this. Good damage out of Yoshino. Ryzo already having to go back, backwards in the lane, I should say.
And Ryzo with his super greedy rune choice, going for the Klepto into Yoshino. Maybe he expected the Aatrox to go top, but this is against the Jace. Klepto will not be very sufficient.
No, it will not. It's going to be very difficult to proc that very much. You really just want that into melee matchups. It can be super strong there, but I don't know how many items he'll be farming up against a Jace, who can absolutely take it to him. Bot lane, we're seeing how this is going to develop. It will be pretty much full lane control for GAM, because it'll be constantly shoved by turrets, and there's not much that DBL can do about that.
Yeah, especially with the ranged support alongside the Heimerdinger. Usually Heimerdinger needs a little bit of time to actually control the lane. Usually level 5 is where he breaks, where he gets to the point to control the lane on its own. Early game sometimes is a little bit of a struggle. Actually not as great in early game champ as many people think. But with the range support advantage and the black shield to thwart engages, this lane should be going from start to finish in their favor.
Yep. Pretty smart there by by DBL. They did freeze as best they could in that bot lane just to try and make sure they could get some form of control. But
Oh no.
Meliodas coming down for the first gank. Hugh gets hooked. The Black Shield's on though, so he should be able to get away here. Has been marked up by Lee Sin. Lots of damage, but no kill. Only one summoner burn. Slay did use that heal just to make sure they were safe. But they get away reasonably scot-free.
Yeah, heal used by Slay, but no flash from Hugh. So Levi now also gets the scuttle on the top side, which gives Yoshino a lot of free time to do whatever he wants in the top lane.
Absolutely. He can try and put his mark on this matchup.
Oh,
Oh, we could have the dive being set up here. I don't think this is a good decision. Against the Black Shield, this is super dangerous.
And Heimerdinger. Don't dive that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be suicide. No, you can't dive Heimerdinger. It's hard to dive Heimerdinger 2v1. Don't dive Heimerdinger lanes with a Morgana, especially on full life, a 3v2 on level 3. That's the most throwy thing you can ever think of doing in the League of Legends game, I think.
And I'm glad Meliodas did think better of it, just stole the Grump away and went home.
Yeah, not a great time for Kiaya, as you can see. We alluded to it earlier in the draft. It's really a struggle. Whoa. Yoshino had the opportunity to kill him.
Raizo taking so much damage. If that Q had hit, that was a kill.
Yeah, absolutely. So Raizo getting punished for his over-aggressive rune choice. I really don't understand why he went with the Klepto in this game. Very confusing. I think with Eri, he's probably even in lane. He's still even in CS though, so maybe he gets more out of this pickup.
Possibly. It'll be. I think Kennen really is just there a little bit. I think it was to punish the Aatrox pick, and they've been a little bit turned on their heads by the fact that is on Kiaya and going mid. They're happy enough to just put Aatrox in a bad matchup and hopefully let him catch up later on.
Yeah, and look at Kiaya's CS. He has been super great. He's still even in CS.
Doing quite well.
And he even has the TP disadvantage, so this is a super great game for Kiaya so far. He's on the back foot, and he is such a hard matchup, especially in mid lane. This matchup is bad in top lane, but it's even worse in mid lane, where Aatrox never gets to get on top of the Nico. So yeah, so far super great CSing from Kiaya in this game.
Yeah, he's doing really well. Has the lane pushing towards him as well, which is that's Raizo pops the ult. Going in here. Ooh, Levi's in range though. Raizo could be in some trouble. The Q and the last auto attack from Jace will be first blood.
Yeah, and this is the downfall of all the aggressive top laners. Raizo, definitely an offender. He is super aggressive in lane and gets punished for his over-aggressive engage. Did not know where Levi was on the map and doesn't even get the flash out of Yoshino. So now he's in a lot of trouble. With Yoshino getting the kill and hitting level 6 as well. The 1-1 should go heavily in favor of the Jace from now on out, which is not a great look for Raizo in this game.
Yeah, no, so far not. I think that was super over-aggressive to burn the ult there. I think he just saw that he did have the level 6 advantage, but without knowing where the enemy jungler is, you just can't go for plays like that. Well, that happens, and oh no, blue reset.
Whoa, Slay.
Slay, oh gosh. He bound that dragon up good, and now he goes down. Null is ignited, taking a lot of damage. Kiaya is in his ult. If they can get a kill, it'll be huge, and they do. The revive goes off. This is all turning. GAM is picked up. 3 kills. Nah, sorry, I'm lying. It's 2. Palette has not gone down. Now it's 3. Palette's in a lot of trouble as well. Has Levi up him. Should have the E any moment now. Can hit it. Bang. 4 kills for GAM.
Yeah, Yoshino putting his team on his back. Absolutely won the fight there with his teleport advantage in the top lane. First, he won the top lane. Now he gets his team a big advantage with his teleport advantage there all over the map. Super good play from GAM, and they are now 5-1 ahead in kills. Look at the Slay. Wow, Slay did everything wrong there he could. It does not really matter, because look at the ult from Levi there, I think. Yeah, Levi getting the Nico ult and stunning and dealing so much damage there. That was so much more effective than the actual Nico ult that already was quite well placed. But Levi
Yep.
now heavily ahead in the jungle matchup, getting 1 kill and 4 assists in the last play, 6 stacks on his Dark Seal. Once he finishes his jungle item, even Meliodas has to be super careful in the 1v1 because Levi can just one-shot him.
Yep, absolutely. He's had a fantastic start to the game, which is great. After the bit of a dodgy performance last game, much better look already on this Silas. Meliodas should be able to pick up this dragon pretty uncontested here. Bot lane priority heavily in the favor of DBL right now, just because Heimerdinger was back. So there should be an Ocean Drake for them, consolation prize, but 4 kills going over to Gum. Not what you want to see.
Yeah, it's still a great dragon picked
If
up
you're a
for
DBL.
DBL, especially in the mid lane for Null. Mages, most of the time, the mages and tanks actually, the classes that profit the most from the mana rack, because they can spam their abilities. So mid lane should go even more in favor of Null now. That being said, Kiaya has still kind of kept pace, and it's sitting on 1 kill as well. So Kiaya is still in a happy spot, and DBL needs to find a little bit more access to the lanes and actually get more kills and convert their big CS leads in mid and bot lane into actual gold leads.
Yeah, that they do. The question is, what do we see played around next? Herald is spawning very soon, but I'm not sure how much play around the Herald there will be.
I mean,
Sure
GAM
if they want to
should play around the Heralds, because they have the safest bottom lane possible. They hold their
Ooh,
thought.
Cannon ult stolen. Rizo, you're in some trouble here, buddy.
Yeah, this game is looking very dire for DBL already, because Levi is super far ahead, and they don't really have any tools to deal with him in the later game. We talked about in the pick and ban phase that the Morgana is most probably assisting him in the later team fights.
Yeah,
Ooh, wow.
almost certainly. Ooh, Nor gets pulled back in. This is a lot of damage. Has to use the ult. Ooh, flash forced out from Kiaya. As Meliodas did come in as backup, dealing so much damage though. God, Aatrox can hurt.
Yeah, this gives a lot of time to Levi, and he's already almost finished the Rift Herald here, so this will actually snowball into first turret top lane as well. GAM with a super great early game plan, and we have seen them excel in the early game before. Elliot is not fast enough to contest, and this is already picked up by Levi now. I was a little bit confused because there's no global announcement on the Rift Herald, but yeah, it has already gone down. And look at the itemization from Levi.
It's going straight into the Magi's. You've got to love it.
Yeah, he wants to
He
fill
knows
out
that
his.
he has to carry. Yep.
Yeah, and he wants to fill out the pages of the book with most probably names of the enemy team, and
Yep. And
so far he has
pictures
been
of the
super.
lovely places in the base that
Yep.
he's gone.
So far he has been super successful. Why would he not continue to be successful? It's still a very aggressive choice, because sometimes you want to throw yourself in there with the Silas as well to get even more for your team. This Silas now in complete carry mode. He doesn't want to fall anymore. He wants his bot lane to die for him, probably, not the other way around.
It is super dangerous on a brawler like Silas to go to Medjai's, because sometimes you do win a fight, but you'll just randomly die because you were in the thick of it, which obviously makes the Medjai's a little bit more dangerous. But with the Morgana, I feel like that's much less likely to happen. I like this itemization.
All is struggling.
Ooh, Null is getting trucked here by Kiaya. This is such good Aatrox play.
Yeah, Kiaya knows exactly where to use his infernal chains. And there was no ability for Null to go in perpendicular angle to the cage thingy from the chains. Oh, I don't like the spawn. Why not
I think we
spawn
could
a
have
top
taken
lane?
that top at
Yeah.
first tower. Unless they're going to try and force a bit more here in the mid lane, since Kiaya does have priority, but I just don't think that's realistic.
A big group. This is a risky play for GAM. They don't have to risk anything here.
Meliodas gets bound up.
Yoshino gets caught as
The
well.
Heimerdinger ult grenade does get used. Yoshino taking a lot of damage, but Pallet is as well. Meliodas throws himself in. He's in the back line. Levi has a Nico ult, uses it, but doesn't hit anyone, but he does get a kill back. Big
It's two
Koro
for
has
one.
to flash away. Slay has used that Morgana ult, didn't actually see it through to completion. And it is 2 for 1, and it should be the back off here unless Levi wants to try for something more, but I really don't think he should.
Yeah, I'm super unhappy with this play from GAM. There was no need to go for the kills. Just go for turrets. He had the super good opportunity to go for top lane first turret. No real chance of contesting this for DBL. Now you give away so many advantages again. Look at this.
Yep.
Yoshino first gets caught here. Way too far forward. Then TP comes in, so they can't back off from the turret angle. Slay and Hugh too far away, so 2 kills have already gone down for DBL before the bot lane even arrives. Hugh almost snipes out Palette there in the end, so that would have been the 2 for 2, but even the 2 for 2 is not in their favor. They're ahead. They don't need to trade kills, just go for the objectives. The only upside to the play, now 12 stacks for Levi's Magi, so he got 4 more. That's 20 straight AP he got out of the play. 400 gold worth, so at least 435 gold even. So that's another kill in terms of pure stats going over to Levi. So in the end, that's still good for him. And now they get another dragon. Nice.
Yep, this is the Infernal picked up, which, I mean, if they're going to go for these aggressive plays, that's a good dragon for it. Just getting those raw stats. I suppose they won't be complaining too loud about that one.
Yeah.
I think they are also happy not to see a mountain. I think they're very much in the same camp as Baron. No mountain drakes, please. They don't need the speed up.
I mean,
The Infernals
one mountain drake would actually be good. I think 2 infernals, 1 mountain is there. Wow.
Ooh, okay. Rizo just gets solo killed. We did not see the start of that.
Ryzen
But
not having the
Rizo,
best day today.
no, he's looking a little bit off.
Hey, Yoshino actually completely wrecking him there in the top lane. Now with the solo kill, actually, obviously Levi played around him a little bit in the early game, and no real attention from Meliodas. There was one gank, but Yoshino got away. So now Yoshino with a big side lane advantage, at least. The first item now secured for Rezo, so he will be able to stay in lane a little bit longer with the lifesteal, or the spell wamp, I should say, coming out.
Yep, and we should see a tower going down here. Yep, first brick picked up for Garmin. Let's see this replay here. How did this happen?
Oh, this.
Just okay.
Yeah, that was
Jace.
not very interesting, actually. That was just Jace thinking, okay, let's check if I can kill him, and the answer was very obvious yes. So
Emphatic yes. It was a very one-sided little skirmish there. Yeah, this is looking really bad from Rizo. You don't want to be a super behind cannon. It's dangerous.
and it's looking so much better from GAM. They are finally executing on the game plan. One a little blunder in the mid lane. They didn't need to go for the play. In the end, they didn't lose too much, and they still got first break, even though it wasn't. Interestingly, not in the top lane. I think they set up everything to get first brick top and then completely abandon top lane, which is kind of a weird choice. They still need to kind of wait. Okay, I thought the 300 gold was cannon once again, but it's only the turret.
No, that turret does go down in the top lane now, so now this allows quite a lot of mid lane focus. That tower is not on very much health. Levi is just walking through the enemy jungler, zero fear. He knows how far ahead he is. Should probably back off before he gets hooked. Well done. Good dodge on that. Gets out of dodge.
Yeah, and he goes Zhonya's next item, which is a super good mid-game team fighting tool. So they should be able to look for picks in the next few minutes. 4k ahead already. The side lane is heavily in their advantage jungle matchup. Whoa! And the Heimerdinger does a lot of damage already as well, as you can clearly see. I'd like him to go for what's the name of the item? The mask thingy.
Abyssal mask?
No, not Abyssal mask. The other,
Adaptive helm?
No, the AP mask thingy that burns you.
Leandry's.
Yeah, Leandry's. Yeah, Leandry's. Leandry's is super good on Heimerdinger because he gets to stack up the passive super fast, and then you deal 10% more damage for the whole fight. So it's my favorite Heimerdinger item. I think it's very good second item choice after Ludens. Can go Zhonya's if you're being dove a lot. by assassins,
He's not.
and he's not now.
I feel like if DBL invests resources in fights into killing this Heimerdinger, they're just doing it wrong.
Yeah,
You've got a
they'll
little guy
instantly
that's going to
lose.
be on your face.
It's way too hard to
He's
kill
much
him.
more. Mid lane is getting pushed down to tier 2. The kick from Meliodas. Ooh, not looking good there. Null takes so much damage. Does flash out though. Palette goes down. Kaya unfortunately ults after that kill, or I think he would have kept going forward if he had the safety of the revive.
Yeah, and
had
Raizo with ult that summed up his performance in this game, doing absolutely
didn't even
nothing.
see it.
Yeah, exactly. It did absolutely nothing. He ulted his own turret. That was not great. And now GAM in the almost yeah, this game looks pretty over already. It's almost 7k gold lead for GAM, which should be insurmountable. And DBL might have to play another game 3. They have actually fallen down a lot. Most of the time it's in game 1, especially against Loki and Flash. But now it's the first game 2 loss in the best of 3 in the VCS. Let's see how they are able to adapt. Or if GAM will be the first team to take down the giants of DBL.
It would be super huge for GAM if they could do it, really stamping themselves back, saying, hey, we had a rough start, but we're back. And I think they've looked super good overall. And if they could take down DBL, that would really do a lot to their confidence and also people doubting them.
Yeah.
It's super good.
And I think it would do a lot for Hugh as well, because I think he's still a little bit of a laughing stock there, not being able to play a whole lot of ADCs. But GAM seems to be super successful. They remind me a lot of last year's G2, I have to say. Strong solo laners, a good jungler, and the bot lane just needs to hold out and not die.
Levi making a bit of a mistake there. He altered the Nico clone.
Oh.
So he didn't get anything, and Abscond is on cooldown. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, they still have priority over the dragon, and there's no opportunity to engage for Meliodas. So still second Infernal Drake going over to them. Next one will be Ocean, which is a little bit unfortunate. They don't need Ocean at all in this comp. They would have liked another Infernal or Mountain Drake to go for a very fast Baron. They still have a super fast Baron. Even without the Mountain Drake, this is a comp that looks like it has 2 Mountain Drakes if they go for the Baron. Because they have Heimerdinger, they have 5 damage champs. Even Morgana support does a lot of damage on Baron because of her.
Put the W under it.
Yeah, it's constantly resetting W as well.
Yep, it's incredible how strong that is. Not the best blue steel coming in here, a little bit messy. Slay as well, very far forward here. Could be in a little bit of trouble if there's a collapse.
Now Yoshina's grouped up with him, and he will.
This as well. Never mind. Levi coming in as well. If anything, it's DBL that needs to get out of town. Hopefully they will.
Whoa, that was super close.
That poke in. Ooh, Chain's not looking in, but Meliodas just goes down. I'm not actually sure what even knocked him up there. Kaya charging forward. Should be able to get the reset on pallet. Lovely. Gets his speed. Could get the revive if he needs it.
Whoa.
Getting knocked up. Well, oh my word, so much damage coming in. Are we seeing the beginning of the end here for DBL as only 3 managed to get away?
It's more the end of the end.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they can quite finish the game here. They don't have a minion wave.
Well, they can turn on Baron
they will get
if they want to.
Yeah.
Now Hugh's ult is not available, so the Baron speed is not as high as it could be.
Yeah, I don't know if I think they'll go for a reset before they go for Baron.
Yeah, but it's still now.
They're very massive control.
Yeah. And now 20 little friend pages. Whoa, Big Koro.
Whoa, Big Koro. Bold.
Feeling himself.
He was, yeah.
I guess
lucky to get a...
He's still sitting on a 3 KDA, but yeah, you're not as strong as on the last game, Big Koro. Be careful.
Very true. TP being used here from Yoshino to get back into lane nice and quickly. Catch the CS, and I think the Baron dance has begun, but I don't think it'll be a long waltz this time. I think we'll be in for a bit of a shorter tango, as it should just be Baron being taken. I don't think TBL can do much about it, as Raizo's not even safe in his own jungle.
A very short, not even relevant point. I just saw Levi buying Executioner's Calling for a second. So you can clearly see he buys items by their color. Because he changed the Executioner's Calling immediately to a Blasting Wand. Very fun.
He's
very funny.
got a little bit of that. Yeah, he's got a little bit of that lobster vision going on, just seeing colours, not shapes. Gotta love it. Of course, it doesn't matter. That undo button,
No.
very strong.
I just spotted it because I was focused on the items. And yeah, he bought Executioner's Calling and immediately sold it again, or undid it again.
I mean, you hope he undid it, didn't
Yeah,
sell
probably.
it.
No,
That
no,
would be
he probably undid it.
really throwing some gold into the well. But this is Baron being started here. I don't think there's even really an
It's
opportunity for
only three
DBL to
people.
contest it.
Yeah, Aatrox is not
Yep.
even there. Actually, don't like that
Yeah.
they called off the play. They could have committed. They had enough time to get the Baron, and now it's at 4k. So Maliris. Ooh, Gam needs to be careful with this play. Levi gets caught.
Ooh, Levi's in a lot of trouble, but the shielding is huge. He goes into that Zhonya's, buys a lot of time. He could be in trouble. He goes down. That's really, really bad for Gum. Oh no. Is this
Oh
the
no!
throw? Not yet. One answered back. Kiaya gets a reset. Never mind. Levi goes down to secondary carry activate. And that's 3 kills picked up. 3 for 2. Kiaya's not done though. He wants this kill onto the Nico, but can he find her? I don't think
Nope.
he can because she's actually juked up the lane.
Nicely done. Ameliodas has to run to his own base very quickly because there's
Yep.
super minions knocking on the on the door.
That there is. And this actually looks like Gum might be going for an aggressive end here. I actually would have preferred to see them not do this. I'm not sure what doing this did. They could have potentially pressured the Baron, gotten it to, half health and had their jungler back up in time.
Yeah, they're still
But
very rough around the edges, especially when it comes to Baron plays. That was not a great Baron setup. They have such an easy team to secure Baron with, and they just needed Kiaya to hit the Baron as well, or even just slay. They had enough damage to actually finish the Baron, but yeah, for some reason they completely misread the situation. Levi way too aggressively positioned here. Yeah, straight into the E from Nico, and very slow reaction from Slay on the Black Shield as well, costing Levi a lot of stacks and a 700 gold shutdown, sadly to the cannon, who's not going to do anything
yeah,
with the gold.
unfortunate, yeah. But Kiaya had a really good performance in this game. He has been quietly getting super fed, which is nice.
Yeah, very impressive Aatrox play. Aatrox always looks a little bit weak in lane because he's just getting smacked around, but then when he comes to the teamfighting stage and has not fallen behind too much, Aatrox can absolutely carry the game. And we see once again how strong he can be in the teamfights.
Absolutely.
Panic
And we
ult
just
by
have to
Hugh
see.
there. Now 40
Yeah,
seconds cooldown, maybe a little bit more, maybe 50 still.
ooh, Levi gets hit by that Nautilus ult. Oh, come on, Yoshino, don't walk in front of that. That's just... It's not going to matter, obviously, but still, don't walk in front of Nautilus ult. It's a bad time.
Yeah, not fun.
As the Baron play continues here, Blue will be stolen away, presumably given over to Yoshino. But we do need to see Gum sort of be a bit more decisive. The more time that goes past, the less their lead matters.
Yeah,
So we do need to see them go.
they seem to be a little bit confused on how to
So,
play the rest of the game. There's
yep.
a very purple, very big clue I could give them, but they seem to be unable to understand what they actually have to do with this composition.
Yep. It does look like they are going to head over towards that big clue now. They've figured out the Blues clues. I don't know if that was a thing in Europe, but you might not
No
understand
idea.
what that reference is.
No idea what you're talking about.
I mean, isn't that half the time when I'm casting? Anyway, it
That's
does
very
look
true.
like they're a little bit scared. I feel like they should commit to the Baron and go for a turn rather than just chasing into mid lane.
Yeah, if they are really scared, just look for one pick and immediate turn on Baron, or try to three-man Baron.
Ooh, it
You
looks like
now have
they might be trying to force the inhib.
yeah, why not? You win every team fight. Just go for the inhib and then set up Baron vision once again. Try to get the Baron done with. It's 27 minutes already, so the last game was already over 1 minute ago. By this time in the game. We definitely see the differences between these two teams and why DBL is more consistently winning games compared to GAM, even though both teams have very good individual players. GAM just seems a little bit lost, and it's definitely a little bit too attributed to composition as well. No real ADC to hit the turrets or the Baron, but there's still Heimerdinger with his ult available. He should be able to shred the Baron in the matter of seconds.
Absolutely, and I don't like that they're backing off here. I really want to see something decisive from GAM. This is how you lose games like this, where you have what should be an insurmountable lead. The way you lose is by taking too long.
Yeah, and it would be super disappointing if GAM managed to throw this game away after this good an early game. They really need to work on their mid game and their objective control in the later stage of the game. They still have one inhibitor secured for themselves and the 6k gold lead, 6.5k. Levi is still super strong. Yoshino will win every 1v1 in the side lane.
They
Heimerdinger,
picked up in motion here, but
I
they
mean,
need to be on the top side of the map.
oh, if they get the kill on Razor, that's very good news. They
That
could
should be bang.
immediately snowball into the bot lane inhibitor, actually.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yoshino
Yeah.
going for it, doing heaps of damage. Oh, Rizo, don't think so, mate.
Nope. I mean, he hoped.
Nope.
He hoped, right? He was dead anyway. He hoped for anything to happen there. And now they can just brute force the bot lane inhibitor, but what's Kiaya doing on the top side?
He is 1v2ing at the moment, and it's not going too well for him.
Oh, wait. He actually turns around the fight there.
Find the kill. I'm trying to look into
Yeah,
the
it's so...
tiny
Wow.
little model, and he gets the kill. This is huge. He could get the 1v2 outplay here. Can
Holy.
we please? Dear God.
What is Kiaya doing?
He just 1v2'd and picked up the kill on Null.
Yeah, sadly the bottom lane inhibitor and minions dying was more important to the observers there, so we didn't see anything, but he somehow won the 1v2.
Yeah, I mean, I think the inhibitor might end up being more important to the game, but that was something much more fun to watch up in the top lane, and this could actually just be game.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot DBL can actually do anymore.
No, especially most of their wave clear is just dead. They need Null.
Palette
This
is
is
gone as well.
Palette's down. This should be the game. We are going to a game 3 here. GAM and DBL delivering as many people thought they would, but 1-1, game 3. I can't wait.
Yeah, we finally get a real good series again. We had a little bit disappointing 2-0s yesterday, but first series of the day, immediately 3 games, and this is one of the most anticipated series of the whole VCS. Zero's still not in, and GAM might even win against DBL without their new star player in Zeros. So imagine what's happening if Zeros comes back. And that being said, will they actually play Zeros after Yoshino's super great performances? Yoshino looks... Yeah, he just beat Razor, so is he the best top laner now?
I mean, he looks so good. Yoshino's super impressive, and I mean, even the fact that we're entertaining that he may well see play over Zeros shows how good he is.
Yeah.
And how well he's been playing. Crazy performance out of him. That said, Kiaya as well, super well that game. Levi obviously had a massive pop-off on the Silas. What a performance overall out of GAM.
Yeah, and overall I absolutely love how they set up the whole game for themselves. Pick strong solo laners and a good early skirmishing jungler and a super safe bot lane that's able to hold whatever happens to them, even dives and even 4v2 attention, and just completely focus on the top side of the map. And it worked out for them. This is really what G2 has done last Worlds, where they were super successful against the bottom lane oriented teams such as RNG. Because they just ignored bottom lane. They picked Heimerdinger or stuff like Heimerdinger and ignored the bottom lane for the whole game. Heimerdinger was still able to scale well into the game. He actually had a good game as well. And the solo laners carried, because the solo laners were better than the enemy. And the same was true for GAM in the second game here.
Yep, absolutely. That was super impressive overall. Gonna have to see what happens in game 3, because we've seen 2 pretty wildly different games.
Yeah, super interesting. I think overall, after the first 2 games, I might lean to GAM. They have shown me a little bit better early game, and even though I think DBL are still better in the later stages of the game, if GAM gets ahead once again, 4 or 5k gold by 20 minutes, even if their closing is a bit slow and a bit sloppy, they might still be able to just brute force the game victory. So
absolutely,
I'm impressed with them. I think GAM has improved even more. They still need to sort out a lot in terms of macro and in terms of objective priority. But yeah, if you can get 5k gold lead at 20 minutes against DBL, you're a good team. That statement is just true, and there's nothing to say about that.
Yep, no, there's really not. Anyway, we will have to see what happens next game, after all.
But MVP,
I'm so hyped. MVP, it's hard.
yeah,
There
it's
was
really
3
hard.
MVPs there for GAM. Kiaya, Levi, and
Yoshino, yeah.
Yoshino, yeah, sorry, I was completely mental blanking on name.
So let's think
All
about
had
what each player did. So Yoshino won his lane against Reizo and was a pressure point for the whole game and even got a few solo kills. That's very good feat. Levi
Yep.
had very good skirmishes
He
in the early game, good team fights. Kind of overextended a few times, and his late game impact was not too great. I think he was more focused on early game.
Yeah.
And then Kiaya. Kiaya is very high. He had an okay laning phase that was as good as it can get with Aatrox against the Nico, and then super great team fights and side lane plays. I'm actually leaning towards Kiaya because I think he had the hardest job. Yoshino had a super good game, but he was on Jace, and Jace is, Jace is.
Yeah, I think Kiaya is where my vote goes as well. So I think we're in agreement. But so good, just overall.
Yeah,
From
I think all the players actually played super great. Maybe Slay not so much. I think I had a lot of criticism for Slay, especially on the timing on E, but in the end it didn't matter for him. So, yeah.
Yep.
Kiaya locking down the first MVP on our stream here. And we'll have to see what Game 3 brings in 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, we are back for Game 3 between GAM and DBL, and it has gotten to Game 3, which is already a big thing, I think, especially for GAM. What do you think?
Yeah,
Who's
I
the favorite in the Game 3 here every day?
look, I'm going to say something controversial, but Gum.
Yeah?
I will, if you ask me, in 9 out of 10 best of X series, who's going to win the last game, I will always answer the one that won the game before that.
Yeah, I like this
Momentum
analysis.
is so important. And I don't think, like, DBL won faster in game one, and
More
we did
cleanly
have
as
some
well.
yeah, we did have some criticism for Gum in how they closed out game two. They weren't quite as decisive as we would have liked, but I don't think the gap was big enough that you can just say, well, that was just a blip. I actually think Gum is here to play, and they've got me. I'm in their camp for game three.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's almost a coin flip in this at this point. Sometimes DBL just shows up for game 3. Actually, so far they have always shown up for game 3, but usually they lose game 1 and then come back game 2 and 3. So now this is the first time they've lost the second game of the series, this split. And looking at their faces, they don't look too confident right now. Maybe that's a little bit of an, yeah, too over interpretation. But yeah, Gum seems to be a little bit more enjoying themselves, a little bit more joyous on stage there.
Yeah, hard to. I mean, I think it's hard to read facial expression too much, especially when we aren't, at least for me, not intimately familiar with the players. But coming in, are we going to see any significant changes to the draft? So
Yeah,
far, there's one. They don't want to deal with that Heimerdinger again, and I can't blame them.
yeah, good adaptation already. I think Nico has to be hitting the ban list as well for Dashing Buffalo, and then they open up the bot lane matchup to play around once again. We'll have to see if Hugh has more things to say. Jace. So now I anticipate the Nico pickup, the Nico ban, I should say, for bot lane. Because if you ban the Heimerdinger and the Jace, you should follow up with the Nico as well, right? Why would you leave
Yeah.
open one of Hugh's best plays, the best champs, if you ban all the others?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Jace is much more towards Yoshino. He had a really good performance, really just made it so Raizo may as well have not shown up. He had a very, very bad game due to Yoshino pushing him down. But no, Nico not banned. They go for the Lux ban again, wanting to get rid of Slay's Lux. You got to think it's a Nico first pick.
Yeah, Nico first picks into Aatrox Irelia answer from Dashing Buffalo, I think. No, please go
No,
Nico.
they want the Silas.
I mean, yeah,
Levi did
Silas
have a
is.
super good performance.
I think the
Lost.
stable bot lane is more important. I really don't agree with the Silas choice here. Levi can have good performances on many champs, and I don't see why this would be the best pick for Gam in this position.
I agree. Very interesting here. Maybe they predict that Nico might get through
Which is even
as the
more
Aatrox is
insane.
being up. It's pretty insane. I mean, we haven't even talked about the fact that Karma has not been featured in either game.
Oh, they could go Karma,
Not
Nico
fair.
bot lane, and then
Oof,
go
that'd be
two AD
absolutely
solo
brutal.
laners. Whole that would be an immediate win in the draft, I think. Gragas over Nico. I cannot
That
understand the
seems
choices. Nico
insane to
Irelia
me.
is what I would pick here. I think Karma can wait until the second rotation. Nico Irelia, I think. Oh no! Wow.
Maybe we should just let
Stop.
this
Yeah.
play out. This is insane. Like you've already seen, like Silas is a jungler. He doesn't go anywhere else anymore. He's not a flex
I
pick.
mean, if you're Palette, he goes apparently can
Well, yeah,
support, right?
true. He can go. He can support apparently, but overall, I'm not sure about Gragas being this high priority. It just doesn't make sense.
And this pick
Um,
really does not make sense at all. Okay, Bikora had two good games on the Kaiser, but Kaiser was no problem in the last game. In the last game, where you had a stable bot lane that was able to get priority, so just pick the stable priority bot lane. Don't go for the Kaiser pick away. Bikora can play more than one champ.
exactly. And this is Nico falling to potentially the second phase, where you've got to imagine she gets banned out. This is insane. Such a weird. Oh, Gragas Yasuo, DBL. They're gonna show that they can do it this time.
Yeah,
Game
maybe we
one,
get to see a better
Gum,
Gragas Yasuo this time from DBL's side.
yep, they're gonna throw down the gauntlet and say anything you can do, I can do better.
And Null Yasuo is very interesting because Null has a super great champion pool. I've written down all the champ he has played already, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different champs. So this Yasuo now is 10th different champ, but he's best in my opinion on Zoe, Nico, even the LeBlanc. Because that's the champs he gets priority with. I don't really see him playing great Yasuo. Let's wait. I have no idea.
I mean, we never know, and especially that might not be a mid lane.
Oh yeah, that's still a possibility as well.
Very possible that this goes into other lanes. I'd say I'm 80% sure that it's mid lane.
Yeah.
But never know. Rek'Sai being banned out, I'm not sure. I think that is almost a nod that they don't think that's a jungle Gragas, and it could be the Yasuo Gragas bot lane.
I mean,
because why ban Rek'Sai then?
Big Koro is one of the only player, in fact, in Vietnam who has played Sona in the bot lane. So why would he not be able to play Yasuo? Another awesome dude. So yeah, and I can absolutely see Palette playing the Gragas support. He's probably had a few Gragas support games in his history already. He's a notorious Poppy support player. He has played Sylas support. He probably plays every champ in the game support. So don't see why you would have problems. But yeah, all our hopes go out the window. Of course, that's a Varus, and that's Varus Tahm Kench set up.
Yep, that it is. Picked up there. Galio looks like it could be answered back as someone is just banging on my door. There you go. And the Renekton being picked up here as well. This is a pretty aggressive comp overall for GAM that they need to play around this early game.
Absolutely love their top side. Imagine the top side with Nico and the support. That would be a super good draft. But why did they pick up the Kai'Sa? I still have to see why he wants to go Kai'Sa. Maybe it's just for ego reasons. He wants to show that he's actually capable of playing ADCs. I think for the team it would have been better to go with the Nico route in this case. Yeah, that was a very obvious Tahm Kench lock. Tahm Kench Varus is the only combination where Varus is still played.
Absolutely.
Though both drafts are actually quite similar in their what they want to focus around. GAM a little bit more top lane focused, while Dashing Buffalos is completely mid lane focused, with a very safe bot lane that doesn't need any attention and still can win the lane if they play it correctly. On the other side, GAM with an even worse bot lane, and they want to play around top side, especially around top lane. Should be easy dives on Rezo there. So,
yeah, it really should be. Rezo is going to have a much better game 3 than he did a game 2 for him to stay in this one. As looks like a little bit of last-minute coaching there, as the coaches do leave the stage.
Yeah. And once again, we see the mid lane Renekton. Kiaya still has not played a single traditional mid laner. He's in full top lane modus, even though he's played many mid lane games now. But this is already his second Renekton game. He has shown Jace, Kled, Irelia, and Aatrox. So only AD champs, only traditional top laners, not a single traditional mage or even AD mid laner in there. I'm not sure if GAM can continue this path to success much longer, but so far it's working out for them, so fair play to them, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting the way GAM is building their team and that. We're going to have to see what they do once Zeros is available. I think it's going to be super interesting.
They just play 3 top laners.
Exactly. Why not? Just triple top lane. I might have to go deal with this person outside. I might just have to AFK for 2 seconds. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, no problem. I'll do the early game analysis here. Quite quickly, we have Ignite Renekton in the mid lane. So this Renekton will be a really big bully in the lane and hard to deal with for Null. Renekton into Gragas Yasuo is still prone to be killed once level 6 hits, but before that, Gragas, Yasu will struggle a little bit in the skirmishes. I think Renekton, Silas can absolutely win early 2v2s. And then we have Silas Aurelia. I've alluded to it earlier in the draft already. They are absolutely looking for dice on Reizo. I don't like Reizo's rune choice in this game. I think he should have gone with Grasp or even the Electrocute. Going Conqueror into the Conqueror matchup of Aurelia is not a great idea most of the time, especially on the Aatrox. Long trades is not what you win on Aatrox. I like the Electrocute because you just need to hit 2 or 3 spells, then get the burst trade and back out again, which is what Aurelia can't really win. The short trades are not in Aurelia's favor. So yeah, Reizo with a not so great read in terms of rune choices. On the bottom lane, very safe, very controlled safe setup for DBL, teleport and cleanse, so no real combat summoner for them. On the other side, Hugh going with the cleanse as well, and Slay following up with the ignite for a little more combat power. Bot lane should still go absolutely even. We have to see if Hugh is able to keep up with Bikoro in lane. And the first jungle attention, we see mirror jungling. The Silas a little bit faster in terms of clearing. He got a little bit of a pull as well from his bot lane. We see early assistance pings, interestingly, from Kiaya. So they might set up an early mid lane gank. Null on the right side of the lane though, so it will be very hard to execute this gank, as Palette eats a heap of damage there. So yeah, the Silas looking for the early mid lane gank. Null still level 2, and flash stun comes in, and Levi hits the stun as well. Null has to flash away. Flash, burned, exhaust as well. Null in a lot of trouble now in the mid lane. At least he gets the flash from Kiaya as well, but Levi is still sitting on his flash, so this is a return gank setup now for the mid lane. And if they are able to turn around the mid lane 2v2 and actually get the advantage themselves, this will already be a very bad sign for DBL.
Sorry about that, I am back.
Yeah,
that
no
was
problem.
An interesting experience. How have we been going?
Yeah, there was a very interesting gank for Levi setup, very planned out. They pinged 1 minute before the gank actually happened. And they got the flash and exhaust out of Null in trade for the flash of Kiaya. So now the Yasuo is very vulnerable in the mid lane.
Yeah, also interesting that he is running that exhaust and all. I actually quite like that adaptation.
Yep.
Obviously, normally we do just see the ignite 100% of the time on Yasuo's, so I like that. I like that a lot.
But look at the CS, he has already fallen behind, but now Meliodas is here.
Yep, Kiaya's in a lot of trouble here. Oh no, he's going to be going down. First blood picked up. Unfortunately, it goes on to Meliodas instead of Null, but they didn't have a huge amount of time to delay.
I mean,
Good start though, Gragas. Yes.
Could have been given over to Null, in my opinion. I don't think they had to secure the kill with the next auto attack from Gragas there, so not the greatest planning from Meliodas securing the kill. That being said, early kills on Gragas can actually be very devastating. Level 6 burst with already secured jungle item can be insanely high.
That it absolutely can. Levi doing his best just to catch the CS here. It does take a fair bit of damage, but no real threat from Meliodas, as the junglers have just decided to be mid laners. I mean, both of these champions have had a fair bit of time as mid laners.
And are probably more legit mid laners than Renekton is, to be fair.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, looking at the early lanes in the on the other sides. Ooh, Yoshino, what are you doing?
Yoshino going under tower here. This is so bold. He gets the solo kill, but he was never escaping there.
That's just sending a message.
Yep.
That's telling Reizo, you're not the best top laner today. You are under your turret all time, and you are getting wrecked in this game. Once again.
Yoshino is playing so well. Like, that was, I mean, obviously that was just a 1-for-1 in the end, and it was a little bit over-aggressive. But, my word, Yoshino has had such a good series. If GAM was ever thinking about not playing him, he's absolutely put that to bed.
Yeah. And, yeah, Yoshino will be competing with the Zeros for his starting spot. We have to see what GAM thinks about that. I think Zeros is probably still Yeah, looking at this again, Yoshino with the very obvious all-in. He gets a lot of damage from Reizo there, so the
Yeah, he just hit the stun and decided, I'm going.
yeah. At this point, he knows it's trading his life for the enemy top laner's life. I think he thought he wanted to get the clean solo kill, but then he got hit by two sweet spots in a row, and yeah, then he decided, okay, whatever, we'll just trade kills.
Ooh, wow, very nice escape there by Slay. Using that Justice Punch.
Yeah, and very
Gets
cool
straight out of
angle.
there.
Actually, very
Yeah, it was
cool
very
angle. He used the Justice Punch ins to delay the attention on Hugh.
Yep.
Ooh,
Very well played overall.
that was
Levi
very
goes
close.
over the wall. I don't think they're going to keep going, though.
That was almost a blind Q steal there. That would have been
Very
insane.
close.
That would have been a tilter for Billiodis.
Yep, Yoshino, though, just under past his enemy's tower, doing his best singed impression, proxying it up. This is a hard lane for Raizo. There is nothing he can do.
Yeah,
And this is much more how we expect Irelia versus Aatrox to go.
and
rather than,
while you were gone, oh, hold the thought. Another in wait.
Ooh,
Whoa,
the
wow.
TP has been called. That's a
It's
time
Big Toro.
catch coming in.
Oh, that's Palat. Yeah, that's right.
And this actually could be a bit of a scrap. Kiaya throws himself forward. Slay with a huge taunt as well. We do have the Yasuo in the belly of Pallet. It's not going to be enough, though. Null should go down here, and he does. Levi picking up that kill. Very
Oh,
nice.
top lane, by the way.
Oh, top lane as well. There's a skirmish under the tower. Observers, please. Observers.
No.
Observers.
Yeah, Razor's already dead, so there's not.
Yeah,
The skirmish has ended.
Yeah, I completely missed that.
There's no skirmish to be had. So this time, Yoshino
time
very
it's-
successful with the solo kill. Wow, what is happening in the top lane? What happened to Razor at the Rift Rivals? Did the skill vampires come and suck him?
I think
I'm not
it's,
sure what's going on here.
I think he's got his new hair, and the brain machine doesn't like the
Oh
color.
no, the hair is so cool. I like the
I know,
hair.
exactly. He's leveled up hair, but hasn't done well otherwise. This is so deep. Just gets hit by the ult. Raizo,
Wow.
not just a stun, which was nice, but yeah, Raizo, see you, buddy.
Yoshino didn't actually do anything special there. He didn't hit his flawless duet. His ult didn't do a whole lot. But he's just stronger. And I talked about this while you were gone. I really don't like challenging the Irelia with your own conqueror. I think Irelia is, if not the strongest, one of the top 2, top 3 champs with conqueror. And Aatrox is
Yep,
not.
absolutely.
Aatrox wants to go for short trades. Aatrox should not go ever Conqueror into Irelia. That's really not a good choice. And we see him
completely
getting
agree.
absolutely punished for that. Oh,
Yep, overall, this is just an absolute stomp up in the top lane. It's a 20-something CS lead.
super great
Meliodas
gank.
bottomed
Super
out.
great. Great.
Yoshino, whew, really selling that he doesn't know that this jungler is here to get
How?
Levi in. The stun doesn't land, unfortunately. This is super well
I think
played
that
out
that
of
was
the team.
probably a game-ending play if Yoshino gets the stun off there. There's no way
Yep.
they can come back from Yoshino going 3-1 ahead with 30 CS, 35 CS advantage and top lane turret probably falling down in the process there as well. It's already almost 2k in favor of GAM once again.
Absolutely. This is a super, super strong start by GAM, led by Yoshino, of course. We need to see more out of this Gragas Yasuo. There was one very good gank using that combo, but we need to see more, or it's not worth picking. And we need to see more out of DBL in general. This isn't looking like the top of the table team here in this game.
No, and it's now 2 games in a row where they hard lost the early game, especially on Yoshino's side. Not Yoshino, I'm sorry, Razor's side, obviously. Yoshino's stomping Razor on the other side. This is a very good sign for GAM. This is what they wanted to look like when Zeros is back in, and now Yoshino's already performing for like this. I'm really not sure what they want to do with the roster from now on. Imagine Zeros coming in as a bot laner. Maybe that's actually an option. He has a big champion pool. Or maybe Yoshino slots
It's
down to
possible.
the bot lane.
That would definitely help with, as well as Hugh. Hugh's actually played pretty well. Oh, Kiaya, though, he's in a lot of trouble. Got knocked up. I'm not actually 100% sure by what. It must have been the Q from Yasuo. Levi going down as well. They did get the Drake, so it's one kill for a Mountain Drake. Never mind, it's a 1-for-1 because Raizo dies under tower again. My man is not having a good time. Now they're going to try and chase down Kiaya, and I don't actually think they
No.
can, unfortunately, even with the Time Kenshin ult. He gets out. It's a 1-for-1 across the map, and the Dragon picked up for Gum. Oof. Dashing Buffalo, not looking good.
And usually I would criticize GAM for the Dragon approach because their setup was not great. They, as you can see, they were not ahead in terms of positioning, and the Dragon was very risky, but it did one thing for them. It singled out the top lane once again because it brought all the attention down to the jungle, and singling out top lane today works super good for GAM.
Absolutely.
So it's now
All is well
more than a
with
2k
Trump.
advantage. Top lane turret only sitting on one plating remaining, and they have the Mountain Drake. I think this top lane turret will only stand for 1 or 1.5 more minutes, because if the game goes anything like it did in the first 10 minutes, there will be an Irelia knocking down the turret in no time.
Yep. As much as we are focusing on Yoshino for good reason here, look at that lead as well.
Yeah.
Just a 2.1k gold lead over his
All the
opposite
gold
number.
is in his pockets. The rest of the map is even. So the GAM needs to be careful. They probably feel like the much stronger team, and they are. That's a very good assessment. But all the lead is on their top laner. And they now swapped away their top laner. That's once again
taking it down bot. That's interesting.
once
Levi
again
getting ulted away from that crab, but that's not how you want to use that ult.
they hard focus on the Rift Herald once again. So swap to get priority on the Rift Herald. If they get the Rift Herald, this might actually be a very good swap. And Yoshino's already knocked down another plating in the bot lane. It's not the greatest call to let Bikoro solo against Yoshino there, because Yoshino is 3 levels ahead.
Well, Bikoro TPing in, though. They want to
good
fight
adaptation.
here.
Good adaptation.
Yoshino has TP as well. He could answer this, or it could just be that situation where one team gets, Levi, absolutely blown up there. Gragas Yasuo, that's why we pick it.
And no
This
smite
should
available
now be
anymore.
a fairly easy Herald.
I actually don't like the TC from Yoshino here. I think they had the opportunity to go for... Never mind me. Never mind me.
Oh, good lord. Yep. No, this is bad. Kiaya goes down, but it doesn't matter because Yoshino's here. He's got 2. He didn't get the 3rd, but oh my word. DBL having a bad time. Paulette manages to get out of combat so he can run away.
This game is so over. Oh my god.
Oh, this is...
they even got the last hit on the Herald.
Oh, did they?
Ooh.
Oh no. Oh dear, this is so bad. They get the first brick up in the top lane.
Yeah, look at Levi again. What? Levi?
It doesn't matter. Levi hard into. You think the fight's over there. You think the fight's even more over when Kiaya decides to be a crocodile skin rug instead of a champion. But Yoshino's here.
He even gets exhausted, but it doesn't matter at all. And very nice re-engage from Slay as well. Did not catch that in the actual fight. Flashed 4-man taunt. Now look at Yoshino.
Yep, just cleans up. Hugh steals a kill away. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, 5-1 and 1.
Hugh going, our absolute favourite build. Thankfully, he doesn't matter this game. It's all about this man on screen, Yoshino.
And to be fair to him, in this game, I think it's actually warranted, of course, of the early game focus, and they want to have the 2 item power spike is to follow up on their bruiser advantages. So I think even though the build is still bad, especially in comparison with the other build and the rune choice, I think it's warranted in this game. So.
Absolutely, I completely agree. And Raizo might be going to the death chamber for the 5th time already this game.
Yeah, putting on his best. Putting on his best Nevan impression today. He did to Nevan what Yoshino does to him today.
Yeah, it's a pretty big stamp being placed on the VCS here by Yoshino. Look how deep he is.
Yeah, this is super impressive. The whole series has been super impressive by Yoshino.
Yep.
And we kind of hoped this would be a close series, and we hoped that the solo laners would be able to hold up to DBL's power, and they absolutely have. Look at the gold lead, 4K, utilizing the Rift Child, I should say, and taking down another turret. This might be two turret push. Yeah,
Yep.
there's not
This
a whole lot
absolutely
DBL
should
can
be
do.
2 turret. Yep. The Grag assault hit a few people, but didn't want to pull the trigger on the Yasuo. I can't say I blame them. I don't think it would have been a good call. And with Yoshino stepping forward, what can DBL do?
And I think we
They even
all
hit
have
charge
probably
on these.
played against an Irelia in this stage of the game. You just want to instantly FF. It's so hard to play against a fat Irelia in the mid game. It feels so bad because she jumps around, she heals, and she does so much damage, has so much mobility and control over the fight. Then she has a stun as well. It's ridiculous. The champ for my head is just insane.
It's a bad time. Yep, and look at the items already for Yoshino compared to Raizo. This is such a bad time. Oh, this is karma. This is because of what you did to Neven.
Yeah,
You ended that man's career, and now Yoshino's here to show you the error of your ways.
yeah. This is has been a super hard day for Rezo, and his first real bad showing in the VCS, I would say. He has been super great in lane in all the games. He had some positioning mistakes still in team fights and miscommunications with his teams showed his rookie status, but his laning so far has always been super great. And today is the first day where he got absolutely wrecked, even more than in Rift Rivals, because the Rift Rivals
Yep.
laning phases went his way as well. He actually got ahead in some of the games, especially against Zoom in the first game against the LPL representative. So
Yep,
yeah,
absolutely. It's not what you want to see out of him by any means, and it's a shame because that really is the breaking point for this game. The rest of the lanes haven't gone awfully. They haven't gone particularly well. Big Coro's done fine. He's 2-0, has a CS lead, but it's just this top lane, and it's just going to be Yoshino potentially snowballing the rest of his team. And I'm not sure what DBL can do about it.
and it's once again Gragas Yasuo not succeeding with early skirmishes and getting ahead in the mid jungle 2v2. To be fair, they were counterpicked by a very strong lane bully in the Renekton and a very proficient Renekton player in Kiaya, so good adaptation for GAM, seeing the Gragas Yasuo going for Renekton. That being said, he would probably go for Renekton anyway, because he loves to play Renekton. But yeah, 2 games of Gragas Yasuo on different hands, and both games not succeeding at all, establishing an early lead for the Yasuo and using the insane 2v2 skirmish power.
Yep, absolutely. But now we just have to see how Gum continue to play around this lead. Yoshino's just sitting in a side lane, but I don't think he can quite dive Null. Not alone. That
Oh,
would be a
Null
very bold
has
play.
exhaust and flash available. He's still up
So
3 levels on Null, by the way, so it might just not matter. Maybe he's still tanky enough to kill him on the turret.
yeah, with the flow shield, it's just super dangerous to dive a Yasuo. Um, I think it's better for Yoshino not to risk it, just because he does have a 700 gold shutdown on his head. If Yoshino goes down, depending on who gets the kill, you could actually see DBL
Yeah,
catching up pretty
yeah.
significantly. And speaking of which, Yoshino's about to go down, and I think Null should be given this kill here.
Meliodas! Ah, why are you doing this?
That was
There
a
was
really bad
no
decision.
rush in securing the kill. Just give it over to any of your carries. Null, Picoro, even Razor to get him back into the game. Don't take the kill for yourself. The kill on Meliodas does
Yeah.
nothing for them.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
so
Razor
disappointing.
wasn't there, so he couldn't get it.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyone else would have been a better decision. That was very silly from Meliodas. You don't need the gold. Like you just need to be an alt bot this game on the Gragas. It should have been given over to Null or Big Koro, but oh well, they do get that 700 gold. After dying, he still has 150
Yeah,
gold bounty for the record,
it's
and
telling
Null could
you
just
how
be going
strong he
down
is in the game.
immediately. Oh, never mind. Big Koro with a really good Varus ult to save his mid laner there. Well done. As Gum does have to back off now.
Yes, luckily we don't watch the other Varus player from yesterday today, so these Varus ults hit, and Biko so far has had a quiet but good Varus performance.
Yeah, he's doing well. He has a
Oh no,
lead.
look at the
600
gold.
gold lead.
Look at the
Oh,
gold. My god. That's a 5,000
Sorry,
gold difference in one position,
Aatrox.
by the way.
Aatrox is doing his best Quinn impression. This is very, very bad out of Rizo. Aatrox doesn't do very well from behind. This is going to be super difficult for him to come back. He's 2 levels down, 60 CS, and that's not even mentioning the 5 kills.
Yeah. Yeah, Aatrox already loses the 1v1 in the late game anyway, even if he's slightly ahead or even. So at this stage, there's really no hope for him to ever go close to the Irelia and live. This is a big problem for DBL. They need to make more of these catch plays on Yoshino. Yoshino with a very disappointing death there. Don't think he needed to die. His team could have reinforced, or he could have backed off a little bit earlier. So this puts a little bit of a hamper to GAM's game plan.
Ideally, it's very difficult here to think about how DBL gets back into this if Yoshino doesn't let them. And I know that sounds so strange, but what they have to be doing is 1v2ing and 1v3ing even. I don't actually think 1v2 is enough.
No.
On this Irelia. But it comes down to, will GAM make plays off the back of that or not?
And they once again have gotten themselves the Betrayal Drake and might just be able to snowball through with the Baron. Actually, their Baron is not bad. They have a lot of damage. They have a lot of melee champs, so they will get a lot of AoE damage, especially if Gragas is there to contest. But yeah, their Baron speed should be good.
Pop. They're going on to Kiaya here. It is Gragas Yasuo.
Oh, super good flash.
And we do see the ult being brought out. But look at the damage out of Kiaya. He nearly kills Meliodas. It's now a 4v1, so he will go down. But my word, if it hadn't been for Tahm Kench, that would have been a very bad time there for Meliodas.
Yeah, that being said, another big map mistake from GAM. Once again, one of the players gets singled out on the side lane while all the other players reset, so nothing to do on the other side of the map. They need to be more careful with the map positioning, especially of their solo laners. Yoshino tries to get another solo kill on Reizo here. Still 2 levels up on him.
Yeah, I mean, Reizo basically can't do anything. He has to be under a tower because he does have that stopwatch at the moment. So Yoshino can't safely dive. How long that will buy, but only barely.
Yeah, but now IE almost finished on DBL, and there's still a future in this game where DBL comes out on top in a very good AoE splash and burst focused team fight with Meliodas hitting a good cask into null ult with crit, 100% crit, resulting into what they thought. Reizo is in big trouble once again.
He's dead.
I mean, you can't really fault him for this, right? He can't do anything anymore. This is the first 2 solo kills were on him, but now it's just, yeah, what can he do? He cannot get away from Aurelia. He even tried to flash away, but yeah, there's
absolutely nothing he can do. This is potentially going to be Baron here for GAM. Yeah, it's already down to 5k health. Meliodas getting absolutely trucked. Big Coro hitting a pretty good ult here. We could see, GAM. Slay just absolutely smashing his face in with the flash there. But that is Baron picked up.
Yeah, but what was Meliodas doing? Why not go into the Baron pit and try to steal? I don't understand.
He was zoned by
Slay, no, he knocked 2 players away. Like, he could have gone into the Baron pit.
Speaking of which, that's 4 kills.
Yep.
Sorry, 3 kills, because Rizo has respawned. Null and Rizo with everything to do now, with 4 players pushing in. Oof, are we about to see DBL lose a series?
Yeah, it's very probable right now, looking at the game state.
85-90% chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, look at this. There's nothing they can even do to defend. So this will be first inhibitor falling at 25 minutes. This time a little bit earlier for GAM at closing out. They got the first Baron, so now this should be smooth sailing for them. Next Dragon is not as important, so they can purely focus on the Baron push, group up mid and bot lane and go for the second inhibitor. Still more than almost 2.5 minutes remaining, so this, might just be the end of the game almost set up there. 2 more turrets should go down. Yeah, look at this. Melios knocks them away. Just flash over
Yeah,
the
he
wall and
should
try
be
to.
going in. Yeah, that's really
What?
bad for Meliodas. He should be going for the
Yeah,
steal there every time.
I really don't understand what he was thinking there. Like, okay, then don't go for the fight afterwards if you want to not die. Why are you dying
Yeah.
anyway afterwards? Then you could have tried to steal away the Baron.
Yeah, that was very bad play there out of Meliodas. He's not had the best series. He had a really good game one on his Lee Sin. Got the MVP. Thought that was very deserved. All of that. Oh, Rizo again. Bye. Didn't even really do any damage.
And now Levi
This isn't
wants to get.
Aatrox, guys. This is Boris. Not doing very well this game.
Look at Silas with the Aatrox ult. He looks a little bit bigger and he glows red, but you can almost not spot the Aatrox ult on the Silas there.
Yeah, I mean, Silas is already a big boy. He's a buff man.
Yeah,
So it just makes him a
absolutely.
little bit bigger.
So this is another turret, as I predicted, falling with the Baron buff. There's still a little bit of
How does
time, so
DBL stop this?
yeah, they can't.
Look at
This
this. They
game's
just go
over.
under the tower. The Irelia ult misses, but it doesn't matter. They had to press the Yasuo button there if they were ever going to press it. And yep, this is over. Gum will be beating the dashing Buffalo, bringing the undefeated in series to an end. What a performance here, especially out of that man, Yoshino. What a god.
Yeah, what a top lane performance. Oh, by the way, there's
Ryzen got a kill.
Razor got a little bit of a, yeah, something, I guess, but he goes down anyway, and the game will end. 27 minutes, even better than the last game, and Yoshino popping off in this game. He already secured more than one solo kill in the last game. We gave the MVP to Kiaya because he had a super great game in the last game as well, especially in the side lanes. But I think this game is no there will be no discussion about MVP. Yoshino looking super good.
Yep, Yoshino, 100%. Absolutely absurd performance out of him.
And he's actually leading the
player.
boards for GAM on our list. Third MVP secured for the substitute top laner that was only supposed to hold, to warm Zeros' seat. But now, after this performance, will he actually be really competing for real with Zeros? Is the real question.
Yeah. I think Zeros is sitting at home watching these games going, oh dear, my replacement is really showing up. I mean, I think it'd be a crime to bench Yoshino after a game like that.
Yeah, it would be super sad to see. Especially with the top lane pool in VCS overall being not super great. Razor looked head and shoulders above everyone else so far. Now got absolutely annihilated by Yoshino. So those two players should be playing as the starting players in any team. If you want to play Zeros, please just trade away Yoshino and let him have his way. They will not do that, but yeah, there are players like Rika in the league still, so it would be.
Oops, sorry, you've cut out for me. I don't know if you're there.
Yeah,
Hello?
that's unfortunate. I'm very sorry. My headset wanted to troll me there.
Oop.
Yeah, whatever you were saying is.
I'm sure the stream can hear you, but it looks like our call might be having a little bit of issues. But
okay, yeah, but the series is over anyway, and we gave the MVP away, so it's best time for the technical difficulties to happen. And we see the interview with Levi, who had an okay series. I think today.
Silas game.
Yeah, I mean his Silas games were good, but still the stars of his teams seem to be the two solo laners, which is a very good foundation to build your team on.
That's absolutely true.
And 3 consecutive series wins now for GAM after starting 0-2 and 0-4 in game score. Now on a 3 series win streak.
Yep, this is super, super impressive from GAM. Really gotten things together. They're looking hot. They're looking like one of the best teams in the VCS.
Yeah, they just took down DBL, and now DBL will fall to 2nd place because their game score is not as good as Loki's anymore. Loki now sitting in sole position on top with on the top spot with 4-1, and we have the 2nd series today coming up with Flash playing there, and they are sitting at 3-1 as well. If they are able to go,
this is our first series, isn't it?
Yeah, it was long. That's very true.
It was I mean,
action pack.
Don't get me wrong. I'll have any series like that, but it feels like I've done enough bloody yelling for 2 series. But
yeah, that was
well
a super
done.
great series.
Yeah, no, that's good. I'm keen for the second series.
Yeah, the second series is more heavily favored in for one team, I think. Flash coming in as the big favorites. QTV Gaming
Yep.
on a big of a downswing if they continue on their path from before the break. They had a good first week, an okay second week, but looked a little bit weaker, especially against EVOS.
Yep.
There got absolutely stomped. So I kind of expect Flash to win in two 27, 28-minute games. A little bit more of the clear-cut series. We have to see if QTV is able to do anything against the inevitable loss.
Yeah, I mean that'll be tricky, but we'll have to see what they can do. They might be able to find a way out. Who knows?
Yeah, and the break will not be as long as we normally see, so probably 40 minutes until our second series starts. See you guys in 40 minutes after this, after cooling down from this action-packed first series for Flash against QTV Gaming. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks for joining us.